Kia Forte LXS lease for just $49 per month. Yes, $49 a month for a new car. We've got to sell so many new Kias, it's scary. So we've slashed our prices to the bone. New 2020 Kia Rio LX, just $13,990. New Kia Sorento LX V6, $8,000 off. Select models with interest-free financing for 75 months. Is your credit dreadful? Galliana Kia isn't afraid of your bad credit. 2020 Kia Rio, $13,990. New Kia Fortes, $49 per month.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana Kia.
Galliana Kia, 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com. 24 month lease, 12,000 miles per year, $39.99 US Sunny plus tax, title, dealer, and acquisition fee, 0 security deposit with lender approval, expires month 5.
Hi, Michael Crothers, owner of Pure Air Conditioning. Now that our economy has reopened and to help the community, we've decided to offer a safe $29 AC maintenance. All Pure Air employees are supplied with gloves, foot coverings, and KN95 masks for your and their protection. Find us online at getpureair.com to schedule your safe $29 AC maintenance. Join me every Saturday at 11:30 a.m. for the Get Pure Air radio show. I'll be talking about everything from air conditioning maintenance to troubleshooting tips.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 6 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News update is presented by Johnston Spinal Care, the leader in spinal decompression. Find them online at 596back.com.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Corey Lazar with Wink News. Is it the end for the Chiquita boat lock in Cape Coral? The city supports paying for its removal, and we'll discuss that today at the Committee of the Whole meeting. Now, the city proposes removing the lock in one of the seawalls. The city is requesting $2 million for that project. Today, a hearing at Fort Myers City Council chambers. Anthony Thomas, a candidate for Ward 2 City Council, is accused of not living at the address he used on his official campaign papers. Those papers were filed when he decided to run for office. The hearing is set for 2:30. With the election less than 2 weeks away, many of you have already voted. In Lee County, 237,419 have cast their ballot. That's between early voting and those of you mailing back your ballots. In Charlotte County, 70,749 of you have already voted. And in Collier, 129,442 ballots have been cast. An investigation is underway in Fort Myers after a body was found in the middle of the roadway. Our crew spotted the body on Palm Beach Boulevard near the Little Caesars. The road was blocked off. Police are on scene investigating. An accused child molester is back in court this morning. James Palmucci faces more than 80 charges for sex crimes against children. Investigators identified Palmucci after 2 of his moles matched those seen in the child pornography. Authorities believe he made that pornography with his victims. Ocala's police chief died in a small plane crash. It happened around 11:30 yesterday morning near Dunellen and the Marion County Airport. The single-engine plane belonged to Chief Greg Graham. He was the only person on board. I'm Corey Lazar. Wink News Now.
Wink News traffic.
Good Monday morning. Traffic is slowing down in Cape Coral northbound on Nelson heading towards Diplomat. Also a slight delay on Andalusia heading north to Diplomat. But we look great on Del Prado. Also a smooth commute over both bridges into Fort Myers. Now, if you're in Fort Myers, traffic is starting to get busy on Daniels Parkway heading westbound to Treeline. Also, traffic busy on Colonial heading to I-75. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News Now.
Wink Weather Authority.
After the quiet start, eventually we will be developing some pop-up scattered storms as we hit this afternoon and this evening. Keep the umbrella handy. High temperature for today, 88 degrees. We're almost near 90 for your Tuesday, Wednesday. A few showers possible, but overall, pretty low chance of rain. Then as we hit late week and this weekend, we do have a chance of rain. That does include Halloween, but hope for the best. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s with some slightly cooler weather as we hit next week. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Serving up a tray load of truth today on 92.5 Fox News.
And now a word from Dr. Johnston at 596-BACK.
Across the country, there has been a major increase in the number of back and neck pain cases. Most researchers attribute it to a decrease in the amount of activity people have been getting. This leads to pinched or compressed spinal nerves. These same nerves go down into people's legs and arms. I've especially noticed this among those with stenosis, arthritis, or bulging herniated discs. This pain, weakness, or numbness should not be ignored. Action needs to be taken. If you suffer from one of these conditions, or even scoliosis or neuropathy, it's important to get your condition correctly diagnosed and treated. At Johnston Spinal Care, we treat these conditions non-surgically, without needles or medications, using spinal decompression, completely safe and painless. Call today for a no-charge telephone consultation or MRI review. Johnston Spinal Care. We're here for you. Call 596-BACK, 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
At 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, our comfort specialists can handle any AC repair. Just call 855-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com.
Always on time or you don't pay time.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
If you struggle using CPAP, it can leave you feeling tired, forgetful.
Who put this banana in the toaster?
You did?
Cool, okay, just checking.
And even impact your health. Fortunately, now there's Inspire, a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body with just the click of a remote. That's right, a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Pandemic, market drops, elections. Don't let the noise and fear distract you. Where do you go for clarity in uncertain times? For experienced advice on planning for retirement, tune in to Saving the Investor with Alfie Townsend, Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. or visit us at savingtheinvestor.com.
Donald Trump never speaks softly. He speaks boldly. As the voice for the voiceless, defending the unborn, the strongest pro-life president in history. He speaks forcefully, protecting the persecuted here and around the world, and for our right to freely practice our faith. He speaks unapologetically, nominating a historic number of judges who will defend our God-given constitutional rights. Joe Biden and the radical left want to continue the Obama-Biden policies that forced immoral values in our homes and schools, and support abortion up until the moment of birth. They've attacked President Trump's Supreme Court nominee Amy Coney Barrett for her faith, and Biden wants to rig the Supreme Court, taking away our constitutional rights. Donald Trump speaks for us, boldly leading the way. He's never let us down and never will.
I'm Donald Trump, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Donald Trump for President, Inc.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steve.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. It is Monday. Just think about this, everybody. In 8 more days, we will be talking about the 2020 presidential election. We will be talking about the 2020 election. Just as important. Look, the presidency is critical. We know that. It's important. But please do not sell short down ballot. Do not sell short everybody that is running and Republicans down ballot and what is at stake down ballot, whether it is amendments or whether it is judges. And we're going to get to some of that coming up this morning. By the way, in case you want my picks, as many people have asked as they go out to vote, early voting, how are the numbers doing? We'll let you know in just a minute. 239-479-5592. If you text the word vote to 239-479-5592, you'll get my picks. Hopefully you've done that already because you've early voted. If not, then hey, if you want them, if you want a little guide, maybe a couple of races you forgot about, then you most certainly can grab those picks. Look, let's be honest. A couple of things that we need to remember. That if we don't keep the Senate and Donald Trump is president of the United States in this country, all bets are off, everybody. All bets are off. You've got the House and the Senate. If the Democrats keep the House of Representatives, if you've got Nancy Pelosi continuing her laugh fest and some of the other confusing things that she said, and we'll get to some audio over the weekend of that as well, that if they have the House and the Senate, what do you think is going to happen, everybody, for the next 4 years? What do you think life is going to be like? It's going to be a mess. And so it's going to be important to have the Senate, certainly the presidency, more and more people feeling like, and I wonder how you feel as well this morning, waking up, more and more people feel like, man, how could it be? How can you not vote for Donald Trump, president of the United States? How can you not see some of the numbers that are changing as we speak? The early voting, the mail-in ballots that were decisively Democrat, and now some of the polling numbers that I'm going to give you in a second that are showing that you and Republicans are closing the gap, and in some cases have taken over. And that is coming up. Yeah, I was talking to friends over the weekend, and it's hard to see. You know, when you look at the rallies, when you see what is going on with Joe Biden and how he is snapping at reporters, how Joe Biden has these drive-up, drive-in rallies along with Barack Obama, and there's like 100 cars there, people beeping their horns. It's got to be surreal for someone like Barack Obama, who's so fake anyway, and who has to show up at these Biden rallies where he's probably thinking to himself, really, do I have to do this? I've got to talk to people in cars? Donald Trump has 10, 20, 30,000 people at rallies. He shows how to do it. You do it at outdoors, at the airports and other events and venues. They're not super spreader situations. Everybody knows it. You can't deny it. And there are not a whole lot of people that are even saying that kind of thing anymore, except for Joe Biden, because Joe Biden pretty much is lost. And I've got audio this weekend to prove it. But Barack Obama, who we were told people were fainting every time he would show up do you remember that in 2008, 2009, 2010? People were fainting, 75, 80, 100,000 people. The Brandenburg Gate, and people just showing up all over the globe for Barack Obama now is relegated to showing up for 150 cars at a drive-up rally where people are beeping, and the phony laugh of Barack Obama as he sits there and hears people honking. It's got to be horrible.
Vice President of the United States. I love the creative honking.
Yeah, no, you don't. You can't tell me. Barack Obama, you can't tell me he loves the creative honking. Barack Obama's standing there on a stage on a Biden-Harris event in the state of Florida and is like, what am I doing? What's going on here? Are you kidding? Am I really doing this? I had 100,000 people show up to see me. Everywhere I went, people were fainting. They were fawning over me. It was unbelievable. Now I got to stand here and listen to you beep at me? How humiliating for him is that? I mean, I don't know what creative honking is. Maybe Jake knows. Jake, have you done any in your life? Have you done any creative honking? Don't answer that, because I know where you're going. Yeah, no, you see? No. And you got Joe Biden, who's at an event, who's trying to stop people from screaming in the background. Every time Joe Biden shows up to an event over the weekend, there are Trump supporters around. Have you heard about this? He shows up at events. Kamala Harris is showing up at events. She's in Detroit. He's in different places. And over the weekend, different locations. I'm not sure where this one was exactly. Oh, Pennsylvania. He's in Pennsylvania, and there's people that are showing up with megaphones that are screaming from distances away from where they're set up outdoors. They're honking horns, and Joe Biden's upset. And he, what did he say? He said, "Oh gosh, where is this audio? Come on now, I got to find this little nugget. Here you go. Is this?
I'll work as hard for those who don't support me as those who do, including those chumps with the microphone out there."
So he says,
chumps with the microphone out there.
He calls them chumps. The Trump supporters, you chumps out there. You know, and Joe Biden's all about unity and bringing the country together. As he's yelling at Trump supporters, calling them chumps, he's annoyed. And then right after that, if you listen to what he says,
including those chumps with the microphone out there.
And then one more word for you.
Look.
Because, you know, he's barely holding on there, everybody.
Look.
Yeah. So there's Joe Biden over the weekend. Do you see what's happening here? It's hard for people to imagine that what they see is your lying eyes. It's not true. When you see Joe Biden's got a couple of people out there in cars and he's trying to keep the phlegm in as he's speaking. And people understand that. And Barack Obama is talking about creative honking and how he loves it.
I love the creative honking.
Yeah, he loves the creative honking. He's like, what am I doing standing here? And then you have the president of the United States where every place he goes, there are massive crowds. Donald Trump, who is getting support from hundreds of people on the side of the road highways in Beverly Hills, California, where there are people that are saying, now it may not be, but there are people that are saying that California is in play. Like, is that even possible? Like, it's not. But having said that, because it's the same way Pennsylvania is going to be, is a shoo-in for Donald Trump. It's not, because Pennsylvania is full of fraud. And every pollster knows it. Robert Cahaley from Trafalgar Group, the only polling institution that nailed it for Donald Trump in 2016, and even in some subsequent races in 2018, the only group, the only pollster who in 2018 called DeSantis over Gillum. You heard me right. The week of the election, the only group that called DeSantis over Gillum called Donald Trump in 2016 over Hillary Clinton is saying the only way that Donald Trump loses Pennsylvania is by fraud. And they're making sure that it happens. Some of what's going on in Pennsylvania is outrageous. And I'll give you the details on how the fraud is going to take place in Philadelphia. Well, all kinds of places in Pennsylvania. But what do the polls actually say now? If you care about polls. The Florida polls have been pretty consistent on who's turning out right now. And one of the top pollsters in Florida is saying you are steadily seeing the decline of numbers of early voters from Democrat to Republican. In other words, all the early numbers show Democrats going out in mass with mail-in ballots, and then they've disappeared. And the GOP is coming on strong in the state of Florida. That's what you see. In the Orlando suburbs, Lake County, GOPers are ahead of Democrats by 35 points with in-person early voting, while they are ahead of Democrats with all pre-election day voting by 6 points. That is just part of it. Only 4 big cities. I'm looking at a map right now, and I wish I guess we could probably text it to you if you'd like. The IPEV map shows that Republicans are leading decisively in the state of Florida. When you look at the map and you see how people are voting across the state, it is a sea of red. Only 4 big cities right now, as we speak, in early voting, have Democrats been doing well in the IPEV. That's Tallahassee, Gainesville, Orlando, and Fort Lauderdale. The rest of the state is swarmed by Republicans. So is that true? Is that what's happening? Because it sure feels like it. So the polling is suggesting here in the state of Florida that it's and even Robert Cahaley from Trafalgar Group, again, who was the only group that called DeSantis over Gillum in 2018, said it's going to be tough for the president to lose Florida. More and more likely, the state of Florida will be Trump's to lose. Now, that doesn't mean you take that for granted. That means you have to go out and tell 5 people and ensure that he is going to win this state by margins that we never imagined. But certainly the polling is not looking bad for the president. Looking pretty good right now. So that's good to hear. All right, 239-479-5592. Let's take a break, and when we come back, hey, I got to play. Man, there's so much Biden audio from the weekend. And, yeah, there's some funny gaffes, really funny gaffes. Better than what I just played. But there's some serious policy in there as well. things that you will see happen if Joe Biden is president of the United States. And it's not a joke.
Not a joke.
Even he says it. So that's coming up. All right. Don't forget to text the word VOTE to 239-479-5592 if you would like just to take with you possibly, or to have with you, or just to peruse because you've asked for it. My voting, my choices for election 2020, local and state, and national, of course. All right. It's Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. Right all along. Let's find out what's going on with traffic. Here's Sabrina Cat.
Good Monday morning. Traffic is slowing down in Cape Coral northbound on Nelson heading towards Diplomat. Also a slight delay on Andalusia heading north to Diplomat. But we look great on Del Prado. Also a smooth commute over both bridges into Fort Myers. Now, if you're in Fort Myers, traffic is starting to get busy on Daniels Parkway heading westbound to Treeline. Also traffic busy on Colonial heading to I-75. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
88 degrees for your Monday afternoon. Sunshine, quiet weather early, then gradually the clouds increase and we will see a chance for some pop-up scattered storms for this afternoon and evening. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
This Fox News Business Report is presented by Big Island Builders, whose reputation for quality homes at a fair price is unsurpassed in Naples.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Bracing for Election Day, small business owners. Police say they worry about protests or destruction and wonder if they should even open up in places like Chicago, Washington, Miami, and Portland. Authorities are working with local businesses to consider how they might be affected before, during, and after the election. From ho, ho, ho to no, no, no. The Wall Street Journal reports that the Department of Health and Human Services is scrapping a public service ad campaign to offer early access to COVID-19 vaccine to Santa Claus performers and Mrs. Claus and elves too. The original idea was to defeat despair and inspire hope during the pandemic, but there was growing concern it would be viewed as political rather than aiding public health. Asian markets ended little change. U.S. stock futures lower in overnight trading and crude oil futures prices lower overnight. And that's your Fox Business Report. I'm Sal Gianfresso, invested in you.
Customers, students, and staff expect a new level of clean. Cintas has the essential products and services to help you carry out cleaning protocols effectively. Cintas performs surface sanitizer and disinfectant spray services to common touchpoints, installs and refills touchless hand sanitizer dispensers, and provides commercial laundry services to help minimize employee exposure. Give everyone the confidence they need to keep coming back. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Plug into the power. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
It's open enrollment season, and MediShare is a Christian healthcare sharing ministry that saves most families about $500 a month. Google MediShare and see if it's a fit for you.
Hey, this is Papa with Casey, Carrie, and Cody. And as most of you know, when Irma hit in September of 2017, thousands of people tried unsuccessfully to call a roofing company. But all the roofers were so overwhelmed they could not handle or even answer those calls. Now here we are, 3 years later, and many of those same people are still waiting to have their roofs repaired. So we are implementing our proactive list. If you want to be on our list, call me for our free tile roof inspection. Once we inspect your roof, you will be on the proactive list. If or when the next storm hits, you will have no need to call any roofer because we will be calling you automatically to see if you need help. We can offer emergency repairs and tarp service or whatever your roof requires. Call Papa now for our free tile roof inspection, 945-2700. We believe it's wise to be proactive and it costs you nothing to join our list. Call Papa for our free tile roof inspection at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. License number CCC 1331790.
You find yourself searching for a reputable air conditioning company?
Don't sweat, call Brett.
I'm Crystal Casey with Brett Air Conditioning. For over 45 years, our motto has been, don't sweat, call Brett. We are a family-owned business with a great reputation. Whether your AC needs maintained, serviced, or replaced, we are here to serve you. So stop searching and join the Brett Air family today. You can find us online at brettairconditioning.com or call us at 239-566-3600. 239-566-3633. 239-566-3633.
If you don't love your AC company, call Brett Air right now. Find them online at brettairconditioning.com or like them on Facebook.
Don't sweat. Call Brett.
License number CAC 1819995. You probably know Lusk, Dray Sites, and Talisano for car accidents and other personal injury matters. But did you know they have attorneys who specialize in many other areas of the law? Whether you're in need of creating or updating your will and testament, or need advice about divorce or child custody, they have an attorney for you. And unlike the all-too-familiar competitors, at Lusk, Dray Sites, and Talisano, you'll be meeting directly with the attorney handling your matter, not some coordinator or case manager looking to increase their numbers. Lusk, Dray Sites, and Talisano. They've been serving you for over 35 years. Have a family law question? Are you seeking a divorce or have child custody issues you need resolved? Do you need assistance with dividing property? At Lusk, Dray Sites, and Talisano, their attorneys can walk you through this difficult process as the needed advocate to protect your legal rights. They've been here for you in the past, they're here today, and will be here for you tomorrow. LDTlaw.com. Offices Cape Coral, Fort Myers, Naples.
It's happening. In just days, Publishers Clearinghouse will be ready to award $1,000 a day for life. Enter now at PCH.com, and you and your family could soon be celebrating the win of a lifetime. Don't miss your last chance to win $1,000 a day for life. Go to PCH.com before it's too late. That's PCH.com. Better hurry if you want the next big winner to be you. Enter at PCH.com now. Entries due 10/28. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Let's go to the phones. Let's see. We've got Jason in Louisiana. Hey, Jason.
Hey, good morning. I'm just sitting here thinking, about the fraud system. And I'm thinking, how can we change this for the future? And I'm thinking, well, what do we do that everybody has? We use our fingerprints to get into grade school, high school, jobs. You get arrested, they use your fingerprint. Even when you're on the clock as a nurse, we use our hands for verifying who you are as you clock in. Some places it's your fingerprints. And it's like, why not, if you're going to go in and use the booth, part of your verification before you begin in the telesystem, you put your fingerprint down or whatever it is they're going to use. And if you're going to use in your mail-in vote for the future, there's a little square where it could be powder, it could be a little sticky substance, and you put your thumb in there and put it in by your signature as part of verification system. And the telesystem is nationwide. That we all have our fingerprints in there somewhere from some time in our life. It's there.
Yeah.
And even if it costs the taxpayer a penny or however they can allocate those funds, from toll authority or something, it'll be very cheap. But the cost of us in the future, as the president and putting that person in office, we can't afford there to be fraud.
Yeah, well, I agree. And listen, we've got to take a break, Jason. We'll be right back, and we'll talk more about that coming up in just a minute. What do you think about Jason's idea? Maybe that's what we need to do, huh?
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Cooling Tip of the Day. You hear AC technicians with all kinds of fancy titles in advertising like Comfort Specialist, Energy Maintenance Technician, Comfort Advisors, blah, blah, blah. So what's that all mean? It's simply a catchphrase for salesman who isn't an air conditioning mechanic. Real mechanics have real NATE certifications. And if your company doesn't employ NATE certified mechanics, you're getting a sales tech at your house for service. A NATE certified mechanic has been to real air conditioning school and is tested for competency. So you know that your mechanic actually knows how to fix your air conditioner and not just sell you stuff. It's easy to spot the difference. Just ask for their NATE ID. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313. Kobe, the most trusted name in the business since 1949.
Joe Biden openly admitted his plan to violate our Second Amendment rights. To gun owners out there who say, well, a Biden administration means they're going to come for my guns.
Bingo, you're right.
Obama and Biden spent years trying to violate our Second Amendment rights. As president, Biden and his radical running mate Kamala Harris would finish the job. New taxes on gun owners, buyback programs, strict new regulations on firearms that would trample our constitutional rights and make our families less safe. While Antifa terrorizes our cities and radical leftists call to defund the police, Biden would enact unconstitutional gun control measures, making it harder than ever to defend yourself.
Bingo, you're right.
Your family and your constitutional Second Amendment rights won't be safe in Joe Biden's America.
I'm Donald Trump, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Donald J. Trump for President, Inc.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody. Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back, and we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. For right at 30 years, we have fought them in courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this, everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Dial pound law on your cell. Pound law, that's all.
Offices, Fort Myers and Naples.
Trump, down in the polls in Pennsylvania, trying to win it again, has 3 campaign events there today. He tells an audience in Manchester, New Hampshire.
I've always watched politicians, we will cut your taxes, we will cut your taxes, we will cut your taxes. Biden gets up, we will raise your taxes.
Joe Biden says during a virtual Get Out the Vote concert.
And all these crises we're seeing today, all the chaos, this hardship and suffering, it didn't have to be this way. No. All this anger, division, and hate, you know in your bones, this is not who we are. And together we can change this.
8 days to Election Day, more people have already voted early than they did in all of 2016, 59.5 million, according to the United States Elections Project website. The Senate's expected to confirm Judge Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court today. The only Republican publicly saying she's a no is Susan Collins from Maine. America's listening to Fox News.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Corey Lazar with Wink News. Is it the end for the Chiquita boat lock in Cape Coral? The city supports paying for its removal, and we'll discuss that today at the Committee of the Whole meeting. Now, the city proposes removing the lock in one of the seawalls. The city is requesting $2 million for that project. Today, a hearing at Fort Myers City Council chambers. Anthony Thomas, a candidate for Ward 2 City Council, is accused of not living at the address he used on his official campaign papers. Those papers were filed when he decided to run for office. The hearing is set for 2:30. With the election less than 2 weeks away, many of you have already voted. In Lee County, 237,419 have cast their ballot. That's between early voting and those of you mailing back your ballots. In Charlotte County, 70,749 of you have already voted. And in Collier, 129,442 ballots have been cast. An investigation is underway in Fort Myers after a body was found in the middle of the roadway. Our crew spotted the body on Palm Beach Boulevard near the Little Caesars. The road was blocked off. Police are on scene investigating. An accused child molester is back in court this morning. James Palmucci faces more than 80 charges for sex crimes against children. Investigators identified Palmucci after 2 of his moles matched those seen in the child pornography. Authorities believe he made that pornography with his victims. Ocala's police chief died in a small plane crash. It happened around 11:30 yesterday morning near Dunellen and the Marion County Airport. The single-engine plane belonged to Chief Greg Graham. He was the only person on board. I'm Corey Lazar. Wink News Now.
Wink News traffic.
Debris on the roadway. If you're heading to I-75 northbound from Corkscrew, that on-ramp there looks like a trash bag maybe in the middle of the on-ramp, so really make sure to give yourself a couple extra minutes. Also slowing traffic southbound on Logan heading south of Immokalee Road. A delay as well on Livingston heading north of Radio Road. Radio is up to speed if you're heading between 951 and Airport Pulling. and heading down to the East Trail, looking great on 951, as well as a smooth commute heading down to Marco Island. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
After the quiet start, eventually we will be developing some pop-up scattered storms as we hit this afternoon and this evening. Keep the umbrella handy. High temperature for today, 88 degrees. We're almost near 90 for your Tuesday, Wednesday. A few showers possible, but overall, pretty low chance of rain. Then as we hit late week and this weekend, we do have a chance of rain. That does include Halloween, but hope for the best. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s with some slightly cooler weather as we hit next week. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Drive the lefties at work crazy with the facts. Get up to speed mornings with Drew Stevens.
92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
Dan Martineau here, owner of D.R. Martineau Roofing of Southwest Florida. I've been repairing and replacing roofs for 27 years. We operate with integrity, knowledge, and service. Google DRM Roofing or call 239-332-1441.
License number CCC 1326954.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
At 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, our comfort specialists can handle any AC repair. Just call 855-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com.
Always on time or you don't pay time.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
Customers have said they thought our trade-in offer here at Naples Nissan was too good to be true. So, before they drove their new Nissan home, we asked a few of them to share their story.
Hi, I'm Jennifer from Fort Myers. My 2012 Honda CR-V had about 75,000 miles on it. I was finally ready to upgrade, so I went to some local dealers here in Fort Myers to see how much I can get for it. But no one can offer me the original MSRP like Naples Nissan. The 30-minute drive was so worth it. I got just over $17,000 and can't wait to drive home in my brand new Rogue. Finally, my car has Bluetooth.
If your trade-in is less than 8 years old with less than 80,000 miles on it, come get the full base MSRP for it and drive home in a brand new Nissan today. Only at Naples Nissan. Full details at naplesnissan.com. Offer on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
When the unexpected comes calling, bounce forward with Comcast Business. Bounce forward fast with internet speeds of up to a gig. Bounce forward with the flexibility to update your bandwidth in just a few clicks. To learn more, go to ComcastBusiness.com.
I'm here with Mike Roberts with Mortgage Warehouse. Mike, give me an update on mortgage rates. How are things looking?
There is a lot of talk about mortgage rates these days, and for good reason. Mortgage rates are nearing the lowest levels we've seen in years. Anyone that purchased their home in 2017 or 2018 should check into refinancing their mortgage to get a lower interest rate. Give us a call at 313-5000 or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com. You'll work directly with one of our loan officers right here in Southwest Florida. Our no closing costs program allows you to refinance with no fees out of pocket, no fees rolled into your loan, and you won't pay any Florida mortgage taxes either. If you took out a mortgage in 2017 or 2018, or you have an interest rate above 4%, or you are paying mortgage insurance, also known as PMI, call us at 313-5000, that's 313-5000, or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154, Equal Housing Lender.
Hiring can be challenging, but ZipRecruiter makes it fast and easy. We talked to Monica Starks, who needed to hire for her company, GS Group.
As the owner of a construction company, finding the right people is a very difficult task. So I use ZipRecruiter.
ZipRecruiter finds the right people for your job and actively invites them to apply.
With ZipRecruiter, we've hired everyone from accountants to project managers to field scientists.
And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. The same number that in 10 more minutes we will play Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. That coming up at 6:50 and 7:50. We do it each and every day. And also, you can text the word vote to 239-479-5592 if you would like my election picks. People have asked, so I am providing. There you go. Pretty simple, straightforward. And anything you want to talk about this morning as far as what we know over the weekend that Joe Biden's not very sure about a whole lot of things. Some confusing audio, to say the least, and how any of this really helps him with 8 days left to go, and is the gap closing when it comes to the enthusiasm? Is there an enthusiasm gap at all? I kind of say that, I laugh, because all I have to do is look at the rallies and you can see what kind of enthusiasm is out there. But there's a couple of things that Joe Biden said over the weekend that I thought was very interesting. Number one, how he feels about the issues of COVID and the things that we need to do. And Jake, I hope you're excited about this, because we have questioned this many, many times off the air. And so now on the air, we have a little bit of an explanation from Joe Biden of what we could see with COVID and wearing masks and the importance of wearing it and how and where we do it. Listen to this.
As president, I'll mandate mask wearing in all federal buildings and all interstate transportation.
And all where?
And all interstate transportation.
Mandating mask wearing, all interstate travel.
And all interstate transportation.
All interstate. So you're driving on I-75 and you're going to have to put your mask on in your car to drive down I-75, everybody. He's going to mandate it. How does that work? Who's enforcing a mandate rule that when you're on I-75, you have to wear your mask? How many times have you looked at people wearing a mask inside of their vehicle and they're the only person in the car and they're wearing a mask and you're asking yourself, why are you wearing a mask? You're in your car. There's nobody around. Is it just me? I'm on an island. Am I the only one? 239-479-5592. Do you wear a mask in your car? I'm yelling because I know Jake's like, why are you yelling? I'm yelling because I'm frustrated. I'm saddened by what we see with these mask mandates and what's happening with COVID and the actual numbers and the things that are taking place right now, as opposed to what these scaremongers, the people that are continuously putting out this propaganda when it comes to COVID. And yeah, I use that word correctly, because the science is there. The data that the liberals love is out there. I'm looking at Tom Elliott, the great Tom Elliott from Grabien, on his account, as he reminds us that in the UK, they have an article out that says death tolls soar. Not from COVID. Death tolls soar, not from COVID. Diabetes victims up 86% in 6 months. Prostate cancer victims up 53%. Breast cancer up 47%. Bowel cancer up 46%. Why? Because of COVID. Because people aren't going to the doctor because they're afraid to leave their house because you're telling them not to leave their house at all. The suggestion that there are not consequences to what is happening is ridiculous. Because there is serious consequences. And it's happening as we speak on the heels of Dr. Fauci, who now says it's a great idea to implement federal nationwide mask mandates, just like what Joe Biden is saying as president of the United States and what he would have everybody do to mask up on highways. That's what we're going to do now. You're going to be riding down I-75 and people are going to be looking at you. And are we going to make this like Collier County where we're going to have snitches? People driving around and see you on in the city of Naples and you're not wearing a mask in a business and they've mandated you got to wear a mask up until April 2021 because, there's a magical number because everybody knows April 13th, what is it, 2021, all of a sudden everything's safe again. It's perfect. These arbitrary dates that people pick. There was even, hold on, there's more from Joe Biden in audio, but I do want to get to this. On the heels of Dr. Fauci signaling this week that he would support a national mask mandate after several months of shying away from it, it wasn't too long ago when he was saying, listen, you don't have to wear a mask. And now all of a sudden he's telling CNN, if people aren't wearing masks, then maybe we should be mandating it. Why? What's your evidence? Where's the evidence to show that mask mandates work, that masks work themselves? JustTheNews.com has a couple of articles I'm reading from. A recent National Geographic poll revealed that 3/4 of Americans always wear masks when they leave home, while a further 18% sometimes do. Now, as far as what you want to do personally, your liberties, your freedoms, if you want to wear a mask and you feel like it's protecting you, by all means, go ahead and wear it. When a government edict comes down and says you have to wear a mask, I got a problem with that, especially when the science is not there for you. Oh, hey, speaking of the science, hold on. This just in, and I hinted at it last week, but now I tell you exactly what's going on. Are you ready? A major study out of Denmark. Remember, I told you about last week this study out of Denmark that a Belgian newspaper ran, and then they pulled it because of the pressure against putting this out. A major study out of Denmark that sought to examine the efficacy of face masks at limiting the spread of COVID has reportedly been rejected by multiple academic journals amid hints that the study found face coverings are not effective in protecting individuals from the coronavirus. Why? Growing concerns over a purportedly high rate of asymptomatic spread of COVID led many of those same officials, including Fauci, to reverse their recommendations, urging people to wear masks whenever they go out in public. But this Danish study has reportedly been ready for months, and nobody will pick up on it. This study that concluded in June, they sought to carry out a major randomized controlled trial study to determine how effective masks might be at stopping COVID transmission. The study, begun in April, involved around 6,000 Danish citizens, half of whom wore face coverings during normal behavior and the other half went out without them. The study concluded in June. Yet the Copenhagen newspaper that I told you about reported it this week had been rejected by at least 3 elite medical journals so far: The Lancet, New England Journal of Medicine, and JAMA, the Journal of the American Medical Association. They all said no. One of the study's researchers told a Danish newspaper this week. He added that the study scientists cannot start discussing what the journals are dissatisfied with because in that case, we must also explain what the study showed, and we do not want to discuss that until it's published. What they're saying is this, everybody. It's very simple. That they don't want this information out. That the scientists and the science and the study of the science and the data has to only be what you say it is. Because if there's another side to the story that suggests otherwise, then your science is flawed, but you don't want people to know your science is flawed because you have an agenda. That's not how science works. It either it is or it isn't. And unfortunately, we have people that are willing to follow this. We have individuals, because of politics, who are willing to suppress scientific data to move their position at the risk of people. Diabetes victims up 86% in 6 months. Prostate cancer victims up 53%. Breast cancer up 47%. People are not going to their physicians, everybody. Ontario shut down non-urgent health services in the spring. Now hospitals are seeing many more patients with advanced cancers. This is real. And I don't see why we're not digging into this further. I mean, isn't that, if if you're a Collier County commissioner, if you're a city of Collier, if you're leadership in Collier County, the commission, excuse me, are you looking into any of this? Where's your evidence that mask mandates are the way to go? Craig's in Fort Myers. Sorry, Craig, I'm kind of frustrated on this Monday.
Hey, Drew, man, I love it. Just keep on going. I have to tell you, when I see the people in their cars with a mask on, right away, a liberal comes to my mind, and then a moron. And I have to tell you, me and my girlfriend, I live down in North Naples, and me and my girlfriend, we go to Oak Farm Seed to Table, maybe Friday and Saturday nights, but most of the time it's just one night out of the weekend. And, of course, you don't have to wear a mask down there if you don't want to. And we go and we dance and we have a great time. And you know what? We've been doing this now for 2 months, if not longer, and neither one of us has got anything. And they act like this is a death sentence if you get it. You know, it's nothing more than a hard cold.
We know. We certainly know more about it, Craig. We certainly know who are the individuals that will be affected most by it, and who would not be. Who the most vulnerable to be hospitalized, that will be hospitalized, as opposed that will not. We have data, science. We have numbers. We have now therapeutics. We understand this virus more than ever. And for some reason, there are individuals, and thanks for the call, Craig. I hear there's a lot of noise in the background. But for some reason, we have individuals that are acting like it's the first time they've ever heard or seen anything like this. Still, we're going to get to more audio of the former vice president and some of the things that he said about COVID. Imagine a world. Should I play some of this? No, I don't have time. Imagine a world when you can go to a restaurant and eat. Have you been to Florida, sir? We're doing that right now. And we're doing all right. No, I'm serious. That's what he said. All right, 239-479-5592. If you'd like to play Drew's College of Political Knowledge, 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. You certainly can call right now. We would love to have you join us. Next on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, we'll do caller number 5 at 239-479-5592. Let's find out what's happening with traffic. Up to the minute. Here's Sabrina Katz.
Traffic slowing in Lehigh Acres northbound on Columbus, heading north towards Jaguar. Also, traffic is busy on Milwaukee west to Bell Boulevard. Keep this in mind as you're heading out to East Lee County High. A slowdown on Richmond heading north to Greenbrier, but pretty quiet on Joel Boulevard heading north towards Palm Beach Boulevard. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
88 degrees for your Monday afternoon. Sunshine, quiet weather early, then gradually the clouds increase and we will see a chance for some pop-up scattered storms for this afternoon and evening. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Rush Limbaugh. Last Thursday, before the last presidential debate, an alarming op-ed appeared on the NBC News website. Eileen Prusher, journalism professor, Florida Atlantic University, wrote that she was terrified that the final Trump-Biden debate wouldn't be presidential, and if she let her 2 children watch, they'd learn the wrong lessons. Now, the professor was especially concerned for her 10-year-old son. He had already been hurt by politics, she says, because in kindergarten he was smart enough to know that Trump doesn't like immigrants. Even as a tot, he knew the bad orange man was bad, but other tots in his class liked Trump. They chanted his name over and over. They celebrated when the orange man won. Her son was traumatized. So allowing him and his 8-year-old sister to watch the debate could be like letting them watch a bloody boxing match. She worried they could be scarred for life. Well, let's hope that the Professor Prusher's children did watch the debate. They experienced no distress. And while we're at it, let's all hope for something else. Soon, Professor Prusher's precious children are going to grow up, and they'll start to consume the fake news and the hate-filled drive-by media coming from hate-filled, deranged liberal journalists and journalism professors. And let's hope they won't be scarred for life from that experience either, eh? Athletes nationwide talking about the relief they're getting from Level Select CBD sports creams and roll-ons from Cadenwood, the leader in CBD. Baseball legend Steve Garvey, with a National League record 1,207 consecutive games, uses Level Select CBD daily. He swears by it. Countless other athletes, including former quarterback Carson Palmer, PGA champion Ricky Fowler, find Level Select CBD helps keep them in the game. It works for them. It can work for you, too. Level Select CBD has a full line of products to choose from, all independently tested, made in the USA with 0% THC. Go to LevelSelectCBD.com. Use the promo code CBD30 for 30% off any of their CBD products. That's LevelSelectCBD.com and the promo code CBD30.
Not available in Idaho, Iowa, and South Dakota.
92.5 Fox News, making Southwest Florida great every day. 92.5 Fox News.
Want to make your home a more comfortable place, but don't think you can afford a top brand heating and cooling system? Well, Carrier has the right solutions for every budget. When you turn to your Carrier expert, they'll show you our full lineup of best-in-class home comfort systems and help you pick the one that best fits into your home budget. Because in this economy, who couldn't use a little more comfort? Carrier. Turn to the experts.
Visit Accurate Comfort Services online at AccurateComfortServices.com today. License number CMC 057023.
Hey, this is Papa, reporting that we're still getting a lot of calls from homeowners who were told they needed a new re-roof after Irma. Most of these folks had a few broken tiles that are obsolete. Our company has 2 warehouses filled with the older obsolete tiles that have never been used. If you think that you may not need a new re-roof, but only need to replace some obsolete tile, please call me for our free tile roof inspection. We may be able to repair and seal your roof to make it look new and beautiful, a lot cheaper than replacing the entire roof. If you call me for our free inspection, we'll place you on our proactive list. And in the event of another hurricane, you won't have to go searching for a contractor because we will automatically call you to see if you need assistance. Let me show you how we can clean and seal and protect your roof, pavers, and pool decks. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Carrie, and Cody, call us at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. License CCC 133-1790. We're open 24/7, and you can call us right now for a free tile roof inspection.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's
All right, let's go to Tony in Naples. Hey, Tony.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good.
Good. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you're in a PhD or associate's degree question. Sir, starts right now. Hey, Tony, how often are American presidential elections held? Every how many years?
4.
That is correct, sir. All right, you got an associate's. We'll see if you get a bachelor's degree on this question. As I speak to you right now, how many Supreme Court justices are there?
8.
That is correct, sir. Do you know who the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court is?
John Roberts.
That is correct. All right. So you sound very far away. All right, you're just knocking them out. All right, you got a master's. We'll see if you get a PhD on this question. Can you tell me the 3 rights that are in the Declaration of Independence? What are 3 rights in the Declaration of Independence? They are
The right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
That is correct, sir. Look at you, Tony. Right there, quick there to the point, and well done, well done. And well, you're welcome. Congratulations. You got yourself a PhD today on Drew's College. I need you to hold on so you can speak with Jake. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. And stay right there. All right. Coming up, we will have more on the polls, how they look right now. If you are interested, some of the shenanigans that may be playing out in Pennsylvania. No kidding. Tim Murtagh will join us in just a couple of more minutes. We'll talk about that specifically on the way.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, it's Drew Steele talking to my good friend Dave Meister, owner of the Floor Meisters. And I love talking to Dave because when I talk to Dave, I know that means he has something special for you. In this case, like I have in my home, CoreTech is absolutely amazing, Dave. And I got to tell you, I love it. My wife loves it. And boy, you've got a lot of CoreTech right now in stock.
Yes, we do, and we've got about 6 or 7 truckloads coming to beat the tariff increase, and we're going to guarantee a freeze of the prices on all our in-stock CoreTech. We're not going to go up 50 cents a square foot, and we're going to save it for our customers.
And so when it comes to CoreTech, I mean, it is just amazing the selection that you have. And not only that, the installation is incredible. What you do there is fantastic.
Yes, and we stock 100 colors of CoreTech.
Floor Meisters, 6281 Naples Boulevard, right next to Costco. So give them a call today at 239-596-4964 or on the web at floormeisters.com.
Son, get in the car.
No, Dad, not your car. It smells horrid and it looks awful. I'm scared, Dad. I'm really scared.
Galliana Kia in Fort Myers will get you out of your scary old car and into a 2020 Kia Forte LXS lease for just $49 per month. Yes, $49 a month for a new car. We've got to sell so many new Kias, it's scary. So we've slashed our prices to the bone. New 2020 Kia Rio LX, just $13,990. New Kia Sorento LX V6, $8,000 off. Select models with interest-free financing for 75 months. Is your credit dreadful? Galliana Kia isn't afraid of your bad credit. 2020 Kia Rio, $13,990. New Kia Fortes, $49 per month.
Kia from Galliana Kia.
Galliana Kia, 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com. 24 month lease, 12,000 miles per year, $39.99 US plus tax, title, dealer and acquisition fee, 0 security deposit with lender approval, expires month 5th.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News Update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Corey Lazar with Wink News. Is it the end for the Chiquita boat lock in Cape Coral? The city supports paying for its removal, and we'll discuss that today at the Committee of the Whole meeting. Now, the city proposes removing the lock in one of the seawalls. The city is requesting $2 million for that project. Today, a hearing at Fort Myers City Council chambers. Anthony Thomas, a candidate for Ward 2 City Council, is accused of not living at the address he used on his official campaign papers. Those papers were filed when he decided to run for office. The hearing is set for 2:30. With the election less than 2 weeks away, many of you have already voted. In Lee County, 237,419 have cast their ballot. That's between early voting and those of you mailing back your ballots. In Charlotte County, 70,749 of you have already voted. And in Collier, 129,442 ballots have been cast. An investigation is underway in Fort Myers after a body was found in the middle of the roadway. Our crew spotted the body on Palm Beach Boulevard near the Little Caesars. The road was blocked off. Police are on scene investigating. An accused child molester is back in court this morning. James Palmucci faces more than 80 charges for sex crimes against children. Investigators identified Palmucci after 2 of his moles matched those seen in the child pornography. Authorities believe he made that pornography with his victims. Ocala's police chief died in a small plane crash. It happened around 11:30 yesterday morning near Dunellen and the Marion County Airport. The single-engine plane belonged to Chief Greg Graham. He was the only person on board. I'm Corey Lazar. Wink News now.
Wink News Traffic.
Traffic slowing in Lehigh Acres northbound on Columbus, heading north towards Jaguar. Also, traffic is busy on Milwaukee west to Bell Boulevard. Keep this in mind as you're heading out to East Lee County High. A slowdown on Richmond heading north to Greenbrier, but pretty quiet on Joel Boulevard heading north towards Palm Beach Boulevard. The Trip to the Minute Traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
After the quiet start, eventually we will be developing some pop-up scattered storms as we hit this afternoon and this evening. Keep the umbrella handy. High temperature for today, 88 degrees. We're almost near 90 for your Tuesday, Wednesday. A few showers possible, but overall, pretty low chance of rain. Then as we hit late week and this weekend, we do have a chance of rain. That does include Halloween, but hope for the best. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s with some slightly cooler weather as we hit next week. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Get more than what the internet tells you. Get up to speed on The Drive with Trey Radel. Weekdays 5 to 7. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating. Always on time, or you don't pay a dime. Please visit us at www.onehourairnaples.com or call 844-1HOUR.
Joe Biden openly admitted his plan to violate our Second Amendment rights.
To gun owners out there who say, well, a Biden administration means they're going to come for my guns.
Bingo, you're right.
Obama and Biden spent years trying to violate our Second Amendment rights. As president, Biden and his radical running mate Kamala Harris would finish the job. New taxes on gun owners, buyback programs, strict new regulations on firearms that would trample our constitutional rights and make our families less safe. While Antifa terrorizes our cities and radical leftists call to defund the police, Biden would enact unconstitutional gun control measures, making it harder than ever to defend yourself.
Bingo, you're right.
Your family and your constitutional Second Amendment rights won't be safe in Joe Biden's America.
I'm Donald Trump, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Donald J. Trump for President, Inc.
Pool need a checkup? Call the doctor, the Pool Doctor.
Hi, Dr. Mark here. LED color-changing pool lights can create an after-dark backyard oasis. Pick your color or select one of the light shows. You can see how dramatic it really is on our website. We're a family company, and for over 40 years, we've been doing business right.
The prescription is the Pool Doctor for award-winning pool service, repairs, and unheard of $39 diagnostic calls. That's mypooldoctor.com or 239-574-1133. State certified CPC 057088.
Hillary Clinton called hardworking Americans like you deplorable.
You could put half of Trump supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables.
Joe Biden called us bad people.
Not very good people.
Liberal Hollywood attacks our faith.
Amy Comey Barrett, Catholic, really Catholic.
And the liberal media attacks our values.
The credulous boomer Rube demo that backs Donald Trump.
They openly hope for the death of our president. Hillary Clinton's former spokesperson said, "I hope he dies." Barack Obama's former speechwriter said, "F these people." It's disgraceful. President Trump stands with us, the people who work for a living, get our hands dirty, care for our families, worship God, and stand for our flag. And we're proud to say Donald Trump is our president.
I'm Donald Trump, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Donald J. Trump for President, Inc.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line, streaming live on YouTube anytime you want to watch at Drew Steele Radio. Steele has 3 E's. Please subscribe to the channel. We do appreciate it. We always appreciate a visit. Tim Murtagh is the Director of Communications for the Trump 2020 re-election campaign. It's Drew Steele. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, Drew. Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
We appreciate you coming back. And 8 days out, messaging is everything right now. So I thought maybe, as somebody who's a director of communications, I mean, it's in your job description. I might play some audio clips for you this morning, and maybe you can explain to me some of the communication here that we're having, because I'm having a little bit of a problem this morning, Tim. So I'm hoping that you can help. So I hope you're prepared for this. This was Joe.
I'll give it a try.
Okay, here we go. This was Joe Biden over the weekend.
Well, it is what it is because he is who he is.
Can you explain to me what that means? That's just part of sort of the overall arching narrative of Joe Biden. I'm not sure what Joe Biden has been talking about here over the weekend.
Well, I mean, it almost seems like a primal scream. I think that clip is from his speech in Pennsylvania over the weekend.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, that was angry Joe Biden, and angry Joe Biden is the most incomprehensible Joe Biden. He shouted his way through that speech in Pennsylvania, so angry and so frustrated, and I think I understand why. Here's what's going on. It's two things. One, in the debate the other night, the president cleaned his clock, and he got Joe Biden to admit that he would wage an all-out assault on our fossil fuels industries. And when he's standing there in Pennsylvania, he knows that's a big problem for him because fracking is a big deal. Florida is also a big energy-producing state. We know that. And so that means a lot of jobs in Florida. And, of course, in Florida, people have to pay their electricity and their gas bills and the heat and cool their homes and all that stuff. And Joe Biden's plan raises prices for all that. So he knows that everybody's on to him.
Right.
And also, he's been feeling the heat over all of this Hunter Biden business and it's Biden Inc., the Biden family enterprise of selling access to Joe Biden and his power when he was vice president and beyond, and it's been exposed. And he doesn't want to have to answer any questions about it, and he's a little bit ticked off about it, and that's what's going on.
Yeah, and I wonder what you think about that specifically. It almost appears as if when you have, for example, the New York Post, who hasn't been able to put anything out on Twitter because of what they started, almost like a scolding, if you will, from Twitter, and almost, I'll say it, it's censorship. And then this continues to be discussed. When Joe Biden will absolutely, positively, unequivocally talk about who the big guy is and more about the laptop, it's almost as if in trying to censor the message, they're actually creating more interest in what is happening. And people are scratching their heads saying, well, hold on, if there's nothing to see here, then why are social media outlets and others doing this?
That's exactly right. And I think that Twitter and Facebook actually drew more attention to it by doing that.
Yeah.
The New York Post is one of the oldest and largest newspapers in the country. I think it's the fifth largest by circulation newspaper in the country. It was founded by Alexander Hamilton. And so it's not some, right-wing website or something. This is a venerable newspaper. Mm-hmm. And to lock the New York Post out of Twitter just because of a story that they wrote that it's well-sourced. And here's the deal. No one, Joe Biden or anyone else, no one has denied that laptop is authentic, that is actually Hunter's, and no one has denied the authenticity of the emails in question. And now you've got Tony Bobulinski, who has actually come forward and very bravely put his name on a statement, and he had a press conference saying that when Joe Biden told Americans that he had never had a discussion with Hunter about these shady foreign business deals, that was a lie.
Yeah.
Not only did he discuss them with Hunter, he was advising Hunter on them and had to sign off on a lot of the deals. And he had an hour-long meeting with Tony Bobulinski and Hunter, Joe Biden did, with Tony and Hunter, to talk about the deal with the Chinese energy company. This is the one that there was an email there that proves that Joe was going to get a 10% stake in the deal.
Right.
Joe Biden is compromised by the Communist Party of China. That's what's going on here. And this is big news. You had the Washington Post yesterday say, look, even if this is not Russian disinformation, we have to treat it like it is. That's incredible.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
This is a major news story that the media is open with, and they actually tell you what they're doing. We are going to ignore this story because we don't like it.
Yeah, and let's make sure we all understand this before we move on, everybody. And this isn't about Hunter Biden. This is about Joe Biden. It is unfortunate that Joe Biden treated his son as someone who is deeply troubled. What father would do that? I've mentioned this to many, many people. The disgusting thing to me in all of this overarching is, how does a father enable a son who clearly is troubled to put him in a position to not get out of the trouble that he has been in as a human being? What kind of father would do that? Put that aside for just a second, which to me is one of the biggest issues. It's not a Hunter Biden issue. It's a Joe Biden issue. And what does China know? What are the things that China knows right now that we don't even know they know, or the information that they have that would compromise and would the President Joe Biden, what kind of information could be out there in the hands of the Chinese, who clearly are the the ones we should be concerned about right now. It's not Russia, it's China, in my opinion, that they might have that would compromise a Joe Biden and what national security implications there may be. So it is that big. I think that's fair to say, right, Tim?
Absolutely, it's fair to say, and you're exactly right to keep this focused on Joe Biden and not Hunter. Hunter, of course, is a big supporting character in it because he's the one who's really running the show for Biden Inc. But they refer to Joe Biden as the big guy and the chairman and all of that. So Joe Biden is the lead of this, and he's the product that they're selling. When Hunter was on a world tour, it's not just Russia and China, but also Ukraine and Romania and Kazakhstan. Pretty much everywhere that Joe Biden had a role in the Obama administration, Hunter followed behind and talked to the oligarchs there and sold access to his father. And Joe knew it was going on. And it absolutely compromises national security. Joe Biden is himself compromised by the communist Chinese. And this just goes into a long line of Joe Biden's approach to China. You know that he never took China seriously as an adversary to the United States.
He said it.
He supported their entry into the World Trade Organization. And that little maneuver cost the United States 60,000 factories and 3.5 million jobs. He has never put Americans' interests ahead of the interests of the Chinese. He said it over and over again. A strong China is good for everybody. No, it's not, Joe. You put them ahead of us. Why would you do that? And he would continue to do that, and we know that if he were somehow elected president.
Yeah. Tim Murtagh joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, Director of Communication for the Trump 2020 re-election campaign. All right, I said little clips of audio. Let me give you this one, and I want to ask a quick question. Kamala Harris over the weekend.
You're very different in the policies that you've supported in the past. You're considered the most liberal United States senator.
Somebody said that, and it actually was Mike Pence on the debate stage. But
yeah, well, actually, the nonpartisan GovTrack has rated you as the most liberal senator. You supported the Green New Deal.
She has this now. If you could see the video, the audience could see the video. She has this look like, I never thought in a million years anybody would ever say this to me. How do you not know how to answer that question or know that it's coming? Or to your point, you've mentioned that on your Twitter account, Mike. It is, she is, and that was just awkward.
Yeah, that's the first thing that anybody on our side has been saying about Kamala Harris, that she's the most liberal senator in the United States Senate, according to GovTrack in 2019, more liberal than Bernie Sanders. Yeah. How you could not be prepared for that question is beyond me. And Norah O'Donnell did a very good job there. But I think it's what it is they never get asked any tough questions. And so when they finally do, even one that's so obvious as that was going to come, she wasn't ready for it. And the shock on her face, like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be on our side. And then the nervous laugh, that's Kamala Harris's tell.
Yeah.
Right? When she laughs like that, you know that she's got no answer.
Yeah.
But that's the fact. Kamala Harris's role is that she's pushing Joe Biden to the left. The agenda that they're running on is the most radical in American history. It's a $4 trillion tax increase. It's the Green New Deal, which would impose massive regulations on every person, every business, every building, and every farm in this country. And it's amnesty for 11 million illegal aliens. And let's remember what the approach to these socialist dictators is going to be. They're going to go back to the Obama way of appeasing Cuba and making life easier on the Cuban regime down there so that they can continue to oppress their own people, fill their own coffers, get rich again. And that will make it easier for them to prop up other dictatorships like Maduro in Venezuela, for example. That's what's going on here. It's the radical leftists who are in charge. It's the anti-police wing of the party. Kamala Harris encouraged her supporters, and members of the Biden campaign contributed to a bail fund to bail people out of jail for the riots in Minneapolis. They have sided with the rioters over the police departments and the law-abiding citizens of the communities that were on fire earlier this year. That's who these folks are. And that's what Kamala Harris is hoping that Norah O'Donnell didn't ask her. But, to Norah's credit, and I know Norah, and she's a very nice person, and she did a great job last night, I thought.
Yeah, no doubt that at least it's almost like they ask. It's funny because to me, and maybe you could speak to this too, it's almost like they ask the question so that they honestly believe. I think Nora believed that, oh, this is like a softball. I mean, she's got to know this is coming because it's so obvious. You've got to be prepared for this. This is one of the most obvious things that would come up. And so I'm just going to give this to you as a softball, but instead it becomes a problem because they don't look at it that way, that you would even ask that question, because certainly you could have something prepared that would fight back against that narrative. And to not do it it's one of two things, Tim. And on the communication side of this, it's either you never expect that someone like Norah O'Donnell is going to ask the question, or you're afraid to tell what is the base, what they want to hear, because you're trying to make it seem as if you're something that you're not. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, and they should have seen that as an opportunity to try to dispel one of those things that we know to be true, right? Yeah. That was a chance for Kamala Harris to take it head on, and obviously she blew it.
Right.
And you see Joe Biden doing the same thing with dodging reporters' questions. Leading up to the debate on Thursday, Joe Biden took 5 of the 6 days heading into last Thursday off.
Yeah.
5 out of 6 days, right? And then he was dark again yesterday. Didn't do a thing yesterday. I think Americans are now becoming familiar with this phrase, calling a lid, which maybe people didn't know about before. It means there won't be any more events that day. Joe Biden calls a lid before noon most of the time. When you're president of the United States, you can't take 5 out of 6 days off to get ready for a summit or something like that. You just can't. And what this shows is that President Trump has the most energy that anybody has ever seen. He's doing 4 events a day. Just the other day, he was in four different battleground states. He started off by voting in Florida. Yep. Then he went to North Carolina, Ohio, and Wisconsin, all in one day, on Saturday. And that was the day that Joe Biden made his angry speech in Pennsylvania. Yesterday, Biden took off. Nothing. He didn't do anything yesterday.
It's unbelievable.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I think more and more people, and again, I've said this many times, it's a base election, getting people out and getting supporters out, and where there are more and more people who are just been so excited. And I think the early voting numbers show the GOP and Republicans, and quite honestly, those that have been passionate about the president that are out right now voting, that are coming out in force. And this is what we're going to need to see, especially when you consider some of the shenanigans in places like Pennsylvania, which I can't even believe. I cannot believe what they're doing in Pennsylvania. I've talked to a couple of different pollsters. As a matter of fact, Trafalgar Group was the one, Robert Cahaly was the one that mentioned that the only possible way in his belief, by the way, Trafalgar so spot on in 2016, and even here in the state of Florida in 2018, picking DeSantis over Gillum, the only one to do so, saying the only way they could see that he would lose Pennsylvania right now is by the shenanigans that could be taking place in that state. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. In Pennsylvania, they've actually moved the election by 3 days. They're allowing people to continue to vote 3 days after Election Day by changing the law that says, votes have to be in on Election Day. No, they've said you've got 3 more days, and when those votes come in by mail, they're not going to have postmarks on them because they're in prepaid envelopes, these vote-by-mail things. So they've effectively moved the election 3 days later. So if you wake up in the morning of the day after the election and President Trump has won Pennsylvania by, say, 25,000 votes, Democrats now have 3 whole days to find 25,001 votes. I'm going to disagree with you very slightly.
Okay.
I'm sorry to say, on the fact that this is a base election.
You don't think so?
No, the president has certainly these rallies and things that the president does excites the base, and the base is very fired up to come out and vote for President Trump. But he has spent the last 4 years expanding his appeal, and it's because of his record. In the black community, before the pandemic, lowest unemployment in history, record funding for historically black colleges and universities, criminal justice reform, letting people out of prison for nonviolent offenders after they've paid their debt and getting them back with their families, school choice, very important in the black community. The president is going to do very well with black voters on Election Day, and Joe Biden and the Democrats are freaking out about it. The president's inroads in the Latino community are huge because of his stance against the communist dictators in these socialist, despotic countries. And we see these in data. We know this is true in our own internal polling, but also in the rallies. About 30% of the people who come to the president's rallies are not Republicans. A similar number, 20 to 30%, did not vote at all in 2016. These are new people coming into the fold, new people coming towards the president's record of success. The president has achieved more in 47 months than Joe Biden has in 47 years. And it's obvious to people, and I think you're going to see President Trump win a great victory. He's going to win Florida. We're going to win Pennsylvania. We're going to win Michigan. And that's all she wrote.
Yeah.
And the president gets reelected.
Yeah, Tim, I usually get upset when people disagree with me, but because it's you, Tim, because it's you, it's okay. I'm all right with that.
That was very gentle. I tried to be gentle.
Are you typically not gentle? It's okay. You can give it to me straight, Tim. You can just tell me off. It's okay. No, seriously. I appreciate that. No, it's important perspective to have, and so I appreciate that so much. Tim Murtagh joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. We always are glad to have you on, and boy, we are excited. We're excited in the state. There are a lot of people that are motivated, pumped up, ready to go. And so we are hoping to bring this certainly home for the president, and we have all the confidence that will take place, certainly here in Southwest Florida. You can believe it.
Yeah. Early voting is underway in Florida. Everybody should get out and vote. And if you're not going to do that, vote for sure on Election Day. I know people are seeing these early voting numbers and the absentee ballot numbers that in most places are favoring the Democrats now. But here's the deal. They are not getting the marks that they need. The early vote totals are not where they need to be for Democrats, because we know that the president's supporters are going to vote, if not early in the days between now and next Tuesday, but then definitely on Tuesday. They have not opened up a big enough lead to make up for what the Trump vote is going to be. So we need people to remember that this is a very important election. Pay attention to what the early voting numbers are and understand that we are still counting on you to turn out by Election Day. And if that happens, the president wins. And I think Florida, to be honest with you, I think the president wins a pretty good victory there, bigger than he did last time.
Yeah, I believe it. All right, all the best, sir. Thank you so much for a few minutes of your time. We do appreciate it. See you soon.
You bet, Drew. Have a good morning.
You too. Thanks. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. There's the left way, and then there's the right way. 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and have I told you about Ryan Hammond Painting and Contracting? I know I have, because, well, number one, I've used them on multiple occasions. I've had a few moves lately, and each and every time had them at my home. They're fantastic. I love the staff. They are the highest reviewed contractors for what they do, maintaining 4.9 to 5 stars. But here's another thing to consider. What about a kitchen, a bath, an entire home that you want remodeled? They have teams and resources ready right now to walk you through the process so they can turn your dreams into reality. I should know, because they did exactly that for me and my wife. I could not be happier. The communication, the friendliness of the staff, the fact that they've been around since 2001, and the difference that they can make, whether it is something like painting a bathroom and especially kitchen and bath remodels. So call them today, Ryan Hammond Painting and Contracting, 239-431-2781, and find out what they can do for you and the incredible work that they do for yourself. 239-431-2781 for Ryan Hammond Painting and Contracting.
It's happening. In just days, Publishers Clearinghouse will be ready to award $1,000 a day for life. Enter now at PCH.com, and you and your family could soon be celebrating the win of a lifetime. Don't miss your last chance to win $1,000 a day for life. Go to PCH.com before it's too late. That's PCH.com. Better hurry if you want the next big winner to be you. Enter at PCH.com now. Entries due 10/28. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited.
President Trump is back, and Newsmax TV is fully covering his rallies live and without interruption. Newsmax TV is rising fast. Watch great shows with Greg Kelly and Sean Spicer. Plus on weekends, Mike Huckabee, Michelle Malkin, and Diamond and Silk. Newsmax is on all major cable systems. Check your guide. Get Newsmax free on Roku, Zumo, YouTube, Pluto, Apple TV, Chromecast, Amazon Fire, and Samsung and LG. Or download the free Newsmax app on your smartphone and start watching now.
Sometimes in business, the unexpected comes calling. From rent increases to increased orders to, I'm gonna say it, unprecedented times. But don't bounce back. Bounce forward with Comcast Business. Bounce forward fast with internet speeds up to a gig, with the flexibility to update your bandwidth in just a few clicks, and with security solutions that help keep your connected devices protected. Be fast, be flexible, be ready for what's next, and bounce forward with Comcast Business. Help your business bounce forward with this amazing offer. Get started with a powerful and reliable internet and voice solution from Comcast Business for $35 each a month for 24 months for 2 years when you buy both. Plus, ask how to get a $250 prepaid card when you upgrade. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com today to find out more. Restrictions apply. Limited to new Comcast Business 35 megabits per second internet and one voice mobility customers. Early termination fee applies. Enrollment in EcoBill and autopay required. Equipment installation taxes and fees extra subject to change. Prepaid card offer ends 11/15/20 and requires business internet 1 gig double play.
This is State Representative Spencer Roach. In just a few days, you'll cast your vote to shape the future of this exceptional nation, which has produced the most powerful, the most prosperous, and the most egalitarian civilization in the history of the world. It took us 244 years to build it, but it can be torn down in only a fraction of that time by the enemies of liberty. But they will not win, because anger is not a campaign platform. Class envy is not a policy position, burning down businesses is not economic equality, and assassinating police officers is not social justice. This is Spencer Roach, and my platform is simple. I believe in freedom, security, and prosperity, and I'm prepared to defend it at any cost. Because this election is not about Republicans versus Democrats. It's not insiders versus outsiders. This election is about Marxists versus Americans. This is Spencer Roach, and on November 3rd, I hope you'll join me in standing up for America, because freedom is worth fighting for. Paid by Spencer Roach, Republican for Florida House, District 79.
You want a new look for your kitchen, but you really dread the thought of subjecting your home and family to the mess and fuss created by weeks of remodeling? Cornerstone Builders has the solution. They can give your kitchen an entirely new look in a matter of days, not weeks. Stand by for the phone number to schedule your free in-home consultation. Cornerstone will save you a lot of time and thousands of dollars with a custom kitchen reface. This 4-step process includes 15 cabinet doors, 5 drawer fronts, and includes relaminating your cabinet exteriors, plus new hinges and new knobs or handles. Best part? The price. Just $38.20 for a beautiful thermofoil reface or $78.20 for maple wood reface. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation. 239-332-3020. That's 332-3020. 239-332-3020. Cornerstone Builders in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Naples, and Marco Island. With 30 years and 22,000 satisfied customers. You know they're gonna wow you.
It's happening. In just days, Publishers Clearinghouse will be ready to award $1,000 a day for life. Enter now at PCH.com, and you and your family could soon be celebrating the win of a lifetime. Don't miss your last chance to win $1,000 a day for life. Go to PCH.com before it's too late. That's PCH.com. Better hurry if you want the next big winner to be you. Enter at PCH.com now. Entries due 10/28. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited.
Hiring can be challenging, but ZipRecruiter makes it fast and easy. We talked to Monica Starks, who needed to hire for her company, GS Group.
As the owner of a construction company, finding the right people is a very difficult task. So I use ZipRecruiter.
ZipRecruiter finds the right people for your job and actively invites them to apply.
With ZipRecruiter, we've hired everyone from accountants to project managers to field scientists.
And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
This Wink News Break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Corey Lazar with Wink News. Is it the end for the Chiquita boat lock in Cape Coral? The city supports paying for its removal, and we'll discuss that today at the Committee of the Whole meeting. Now, the city proposes removing the lock in one of the seawalls. The city is requesting $2 million for that project. Today, a hearing at Fort Myers City Council chambers. Anthony Thomas, a candidate for Ward 2 City Council, is accused of not living at the address he used on his official campaign papers. Those papers were filed when he decided to run for office. The hearing is set for 2:30. With the election less than 2 weeks away, many of you have already voted. In Lee County, 237,419 have cast their ballot. That's between early voting and those of you mailing back your ballots. In Charlotte County, 70,749 of you have already voted. And in Collier, 129,442 ballots have been cast. An investigation is underway in Fort Myers after a body was found in the middle of the roadway. Our crew spotted the body on Palm Beach Boulevard near the Little Caesars. The road was blocked off. Police are on scene investigating. An accused child molester is back in court this morning. James Palmucci faces more than 80 charges for sex crimes against children. Investigators identified Palmucci after two of his moles matched those seen in the child pornography. Authorities believe he made that pornography with his victims. Ocala's police chief died in a small plane crash. It happened around 11:30 yesterday morning near Dunellen and the Marion County Airport. The single-engine plane belonged to Chief Greg Graham. He was the only person on board. I'm Corey Lazar. Wink News Now.
Wink News traffic.
An investigation from a deadly crash overnight at mile marker 116 heading south is slowing traffic for 5 miles. Pretty much at a standstill, starting from Corkscrew all the way down to Bonita Beach Road. You know the drill. If you're a normal I-75 commuter, just stick to 3 Oaks or US 41. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News Now.
Wink Weather Authority.
After the quiet start, eventually we will be developing some pop-up scattered storms as we hit this afternoon and this evening. Keep the umbrella handy. High temperature for today, 88 degrees. We're almost near 90 for your Tuesday, Wednesday. A few showers possible, but overall, pretty low chance of rain. Then as we hit late week and this weekend, we do have a chance of rain. That does include Halloween, but hope for the best. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s with some slightly cooler weather as we hit next week. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Drew Steele in the morning and Trey Radel in the afternoon. 2 doses of what cures liberalism. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hey, it's Jake DeMolino here from Daybreak to talk about AMCO of Bonita Springs. Everyone's been affected by the pandemic, and I was definitely no exception. But here's the thing. I had an issue, a well-known issue. Kevin and Todd came to the rescue, effectively giving me my life back. They put their expertise to work on my transmission that was completely shot. His master mechanic told me that it was probably the worst transmission he's seen in his 30 years of working. And let me tell you, he knocked it out of the park. He helped me, and I'm sure he can help you as well. AMCO of Bonita Springs has been trusted in Southwest Florida since 2008. They've been through pandemics, recessions, you name it. They're located right off of Burnwood Drive in Bonita, an independent, conservative AMCO dealer whose award-winning customer service speaks for itself. They work on all makes and models, and they don't just do transmissions. They can do oil changes, normal maintenance, tires, you name it. For those of you out there with classic cars, there's no one I could trust more than Kevin and Todd with something I know you cherish and is so near and dear to you. So give Kevin and Todd a call at AMCO of Bonita Springs. 239-992-2626. 239-992-2626. A big thank you from Jake DeMolino for AMCO Bonita Springs.
Heroes nowadays can be anyone. And no, they don't have to fly, or have X-ray vision, or superhuman strength. See, in Naples, our heroes wear masks. They practice physical distancing. They wash their hands regularly. NCH Healthcare System and the City of Naples are counting on you to be a hero and wear a mask. Because in Naples, all heroes wear masks.
I'm John Morgan. After my brother Tim suffered a terrible accident, the lawyer we hired to help us ended up hurting us more. We didn't know any better, and boy did I learn quickly that all law firms are not the same. The lawyer you choose makes all the difference. That's why over the last 30 years, I set out to build a different kind of law firm, now America's largest injury law firm, where every client is treated like I would want to be treated all those years ago. There's only one Morgan & Morgan. Dial pound law on your cell.
Offices, Fort Myers and Naples.
You find yourself searching for a reputable air conditioning company?
Don't sweat. Call Brett.
I'm Crystal Casey with Brett Air Conditioning. For over 45 years, our motto has been, don't sweat, call Brett. We are a family-owned business with a great reputation. Whether your AC needs maintained, serviced, or replaced, we are here to serve you. So stop searching and join the Brett Air family today. You can find us online at brettairconditioning.com or call us at 239-566-3633. 239-566-3633.
If you don't love your AC company, call Brett Air right now. Find them online at brettairconditioning.com or like them on Facebook.
Don't sweat. Call Brett.
License number CAC 1819995.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. My name is Drew Steele. Hi, his name is Jake the Millennial. Hello. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. Don't forget, coming up at 7:50, Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Coming up this morning, we were just talking to Tim Murtagh, Director of Communications for the Trump campaign. And I was talking about how it was a base election, and he was disagreeing and saying he doesn't believe that it is because of how many others have now come to believe that the president is the right choice. Black voters, we're starting to hear the job approval for Black Americans has doubled in just the past couple of months. I think it's in the 46 or 47% range. The belief is that there will be more Black voters for Trump than we have seen for a Republican candidate in a long time. And that makes a difference. A lot of Democrats that are showing up to these Trump rallies, that looks like there will be support for the president. And I don't disagree with any of that. But when I say base election, I mean that you need to get out and vote, and you need to get other Republicans out to vote more than the Democrats have been out there with mail-in ballots, how they have mobilized. Now, I don't know if you've noticed this in Southwest Florida, and I would like for you to tell me if you've noticed this or not. 239-479-5592. Have you noticed that even with the amount of support for the president this year, follow me, listen to this. I want you to comment, call me, and let me know what you think, or text. Even with the amount of support here in Southwest Florida, have you noticed that there has been a lot of Democrats that are running, as they usually do, for offices around Southwest Florida, but that there are actually more events and even more yard signs and some individuals that you wouldn't otherwise see. In other words, that Democrats in Southwest Florida, even though there are less, have mobilized this year more. Are you following me? Jake, does this make sense? Are you following what I'm saying? Because you're the ombudsman until I get some calls here, 239-479-5592. Follow what I'm saying. Have you noticed that there are more Democrats that are doing events and even yard signs? And, you'll see a sign out maybe at the corner of, 41 and Daniel, something like that. And you'll see a name on there and you'll be like, I don't recognize. Who is that? It's because it's a Democrat. Someone who's not going to win, but that they are mobilizing. And remember, every Democrat that gets out and is mobilized, their base, is going to vote for Joe Biden. And that's where the base election issue comes into play. To make sure, I'll give you an example. Now, I may be wrong about this, but I see more of it. I see more people that are running for some local offices that are Democrat or that are NPA that will tell you that, listen, you don't ask us what this is a nonpartisan race, and so you can't even ask us whether or not we're a Republican or Democrat. And they vehemently, whatever the right word is, they hate Donald Trump. They hate Governor DeSantis. Absolutely hate them. And I was looking at this article, and here's where it's coming from. I'm looking at this article in FloridaPolitics.com. Where are all the Democrat voters coming from? Where are all these Democrat votes coming from? Some of Florida's reddest counties. This is from Jacob Ogles at Florida Politics. So far, Collier County has seen the highest Democrat turnout of any Florida county. Can I say that again? Collier County has the highest Democrat turnout of any Florida county. Look at county totals show some of Florida's Republican strongholds also see the highest turnout rate among Democrats so far this election cycle. The clearest example comes in Collier County, where Democrat turnout 10 days out from the election has already exceeded 62%. As of Saturday, 26,310 Democrats have returned their mail ballot and another 7,500 cast votes early. That's a total of 33,863 votes already locked in. That means Democrats in the county boast a higher turnout rate than they do in any other county in Florida. It's all the more remarkable considering Democrats make up just 24% of votes in the county, a total of 54,000. Now, it's not to say Collier County Republicans should shake in their boots. About 54% of Republicans in the county also turned out. That means 61,000 Republican ballots already are in the box. But it's a sign of how the presidential election could turn in the largest swing state. Now, this is what I'm talking about. The base election portion and those that are motivated that are coming out. Remember, for every Democrat that's coming out in Collier County, and the numbers are big, they're not voting down ballot Republican. They're not voting down ballot even in some of the races that are nonpartisan races that you're looking at. Some of the races that people have been concerned about that maybe don't get as much attention. They're not going to vote for the most conservative candidate locally. That's a big deal. Now, having said that, as Jacob Ogles was describing, look, the number of Republicans that have already turned down and will, but it does speak volumes to how, in my opinion, this is a base election. And how, if you don't get out the base in mass across the country, in states where there'll be some shenanigans like Pennsylvania and other states where we're already seeing what they're doing with election day voting, and how they're going to extend it 3 days after, where even Tim Murtagh was mentioning that they could find, hey, listen, if the president wins by 25,000 in Pennsylvania on November 3rd, November 4th, you got 3 days for Democrats to go, all right, let's start checking the trucks and parking lots and different places that we can. So it's important to get out and vote. And it's important to bring people out to vote as well. I'm just making that suggestion. Just be careful and don't take anything for granted. Randall's in Naples. Hey, Randall.
Hello.
Hi. What's on your mind, Randall?
I just wanted to let everyone know that I have been a staunch independent. I would not join a party for nothing. But this election, with all the research, I just can't imagine anyone voting for a Democrat. They've really showed their colors. I've watched all this stuff about the Biden family and how they're doing the government. And there's no way I would even consider a Democrat. I don't even want to talk to one. And I don't know any, actually.
You don't know any, huh?
No, I don't know anyone that says they're a Democrat.
Hey, Randall, how have you voted in the past?
I just go by the person and kind of judge how I think what they stand for, and if I think I believe them or not.
So you go by the person. Boy, 2016, how did that work out for you?
It was hard, but I went with Trump.
Yeah.
There's no way I would have went with Hillary. Come on, she's the Clinton, and I know the Clinton passed.
Okay, I'm just checking.
I know the crooked stuff in Arkansas.
I'm just checking. You know what? Well, here's a curious question as just before we move on, Randall. By the way, how many years young are you?
66.
All right. Have you been an independent all your life?
All my life.
So how often did you find yourself siding as an independent with one side over the other? In other words, throughout your 60s... I never
considered it.
Well, but...
I never considered Democrat or Republican.
Right,
I only considered the people.
No, but so this is a curious question. In for you striving to be independent. Independent meaning you're looking at the person, you're listening to the politics, and you're making a decision not based on party, but based on that individual. Did you find yourself siding with one party or the other more often?
No.
You say you were equally split between, for example, did you vote for 2 terms of George Bush or did you vote for John Kerry? Did you vote for...
I voted for Bush.
Vote for Bush. Okay.
Yeah.
Barack Obama. Did you vote for Barack Obama?
No.
Not at all. So it is interesting, though, if you really were to look at it and look and just take a step back, and I know in your heart of hearts you want to say you're an independent, that you look at the individuals. But when it actually played out, and when in your life experience through elections, you really look at it and you take a 30,000-foot look, you really did vote for one party more than the other, didn't you? Based on your values, not the party.
I don't even know which party those people were in that you just named.
Yeah, they're all Republican.
I know about Barack Obama.
Right. So if you didn't vote for you didn't vote for Barack. Yeah, that's what I find is interesting. That I'm not discrediting you. I'm not saying that it's not true that you are an independent voter, but I do find it interesting that as an independent voter, as somebody who's looking at this the way you've looked at it, it is fascinating to me that the individuals that you chose or chose not to vote for put you and leaned your direction towards Republican or conservative candidates.
I guess I'm looking for the most honest person that I can imagine, whichever one stands up for the country that I live in.
Yeah. Well, there you go. All right. Well, Randall, listen, I appreciate the call. Thank you so much. 239-479-5592. I guess what I'm saying is that as someone who wants to look independently, it is easy, I think, as someone like Randall to take a 30,000-foot look and say, look, I vote my values. I vote for this country. I vote for those individuals that I believe will reinforce what I believe about the greatness of America and the promises of liberties and freedoms that we enjoy, and who are the individuals that will keep them and who will take them. I think that's interesting. 239-479-5592. You ready to go? All right. It is Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. We'll take caller number 5 right now if you would like to play at 239-479-5592. We'll have a little bit of fun this Monday morning. It is Monday, right? I'm just 8 days away. It's now less than 8 days away from the election. Are you ready? All right. Let's find out who's going to win Drew's College of Political Knowledge up next on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along with traffic, there's Sabrina Katz.
Flashing lights from a deadly crash investigation on the highway causing 6 miles of backups right now. So this is Apanita Beach Road southbound. Avoid I-75 from Corkscrew. That's where the delay begins. Stick to 41 or 3 Oaks. Also, Lehigh Acres, a crash at Jaguar and Eisenhower slowing traffic eastbound on Jaguar heading to Columbus, and a crash at Blackstone and State Road 82. Good news here, no major backups, just a tap on those brakes heading west towards Alabama. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
88 degrees for your Monday afternoon. Sunshine, quiet weather early, then gradually the clouds increase and we will see a chance for some pop-up scattered storms for this afternoon and evening. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Tougher than plastic, harder than wood. Nothing beats the power of steel. Drew Steel, weekday mornings at 6 on 92.5 Fox News.
Joe Biden openly admitted his plan to violate our Second Amendment rights.
To gun owners out there who say, well, a Biden administration means they're going to come for my guns.
Bingo, you're right. Obama and Biden spent years trying to violate our Second Amendment rights. As president, Biden and his radical running mate Kamala Harris would finish the job. New taxes on gun owners. buyback programs, strict new regulations on firearms that would trample our constitutional rights and make our families less safe. While Antifa terrorizes our cities and radical leftists call to defund the police, Biden would enact unconstitutional gun control measures, making it harder than ever to defend yourself.
Bingo. You're right.
Your family and your constitutional Second Amendment rights won't be safe in Joe Biden's America.
I'm Donald Trump, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Donald J. Trump for President, Inc.
Now is the time to get countertops at Rock Solid. Why Rock Solid? How about Rock Solid's unbelievable prices? Full slabs of quartz from $599, granite $499, and remnants as low as $150. Rock Solid's vast selection of the finest stone from around the world. Rock Solid's award-winning customer service and installation in about a week. Want the best new countertops for your kitchen? The choice is simple. Rock Solid.
Rock Solid. We don't stop at just countertops.
When the unexpected comes calling, bounce forward with Comcast Business. Bounce forward fast with internet speeds of up to a gig. Bounce forward with the flexibility to update your bandwidth in just a few clicks. To learn more, go to ComcastBusiness.com.
At 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, our comfort specialists can handle any AC repair. Just call 855-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com.
Always on time or you don't pay time.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
Let's go to Mike in Naples. Hello, Mike in Naples.
Hello, Drew.
Hello, Mike in
Enjoy
Naples.
your show.
Oh, thank you. I enjoy you, sir. That you're calling. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you're in a PhD or associate's degree question. Sir, starts right now. Hey, Mike, who's in charge of the executive branch? Who's in charge of the executive branch of government?
Currently, it's Donald J. Trump.
That is correct, sir. All right. So you got an associate's. We'll see if you get a bachelor's degree on this question. How many United States senators total do we have in the United States?
2 per state, 50. 2 per state, 50, so 100.
That's okay. You did a little bit of Jake math there. That's all right. Yeah, that's when he answered the phone. Sometimes it rubs off. It's really disgusting. All right, that's true. It is early, too. All right, so you got a bachelor's. We'll see if you get a master's degree on this question. What do we call the first 10 amendments to the Constitution? That is called the...
That's called the Declaration of Independence.
It's actually called the Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights is the first 10 amendments to the Constitution. Boy, it really is early.
Did I say it was early?
Yeah, you did. You said that twice now. All right, so let's see if you get... All right, I don't know if this is going to be easier or not, but here we go. Do you remember Al Gore? Remember Al Gore was vice president of the United States? He was vice president while Bill Clinton was president. Do you remember that?
I do recall.
Okay. Do you remember that Al Gore was also a senator before he was vice president? Do you remember what state he was a senator for? He was the senator from the state of...
Yeah. Senator
Can I give you a multiple choice?
Sure.
All right. Is it Tennessee or Texas?
It's Tennessee.
There you go. All right. Good for you. All right. Well, good. You big comeback there, Mike. Congratulations. I think you got a master's degree today on Drew's College. You see? Not so bad.
Thank you.
You sound disappointed, Mike. Are you okay? It's Monday.
I'm going to be all right. Thank you.
You really are going to be. It's really going to be okay. That's not how this is supposed to end. It's supposed to end. It's supposed to be joy filled for you, Mike.
I am joy filled. Thank you.
Okay, stay there. I don't believe him. I don't think there's any joy in Mike right now. He's
got me convinced.
I think he's disappointed. Look, I think he knows in his heart of hearts, he knows he's better than that. He's right all along. He knows it. And it was just the pressure of being alive on the air and having to talk to Jake before he came on the air. There's a lot of pressure when people talk to you, Jake. Okay. 239-479-5592. I don't know. Text the word vote to 239-479-5592 if you would like to get my pick, Selection 2020 here, state, local. Pretty important races, amendments, judges. So go ahead and text the word vote right now to 239-479-5592, and it'll be sent to you.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Customers have said they thought our trade-in offer here at Naples Nissan was too good to be true. So, before they drove their new Nissan home, we asked a few of them to share their story. Here's Tracy from Cape Coral.
My 2012 Camry had about 78,000 miles on it. I heard Naples Nissan was offering MSRP for your trade-in, but I was a little skeptical. After I called them and checked out their website, everything seemed legit, so I decided to go for it. The original MSRP for my car was just over 19 grand, and I thought, no way, that's how much I'm actually getting. So happy I was wrong, and now I get to drive home in my brand new Altima. It's the real deal, people. Totally worth the drive.
If your trade-in is less than 8 years old with less than 80,000 miles on it, come get the full base MSRP for it and drive home in a brand new Nissan today. Only at Naples Nissan. Full details at naplesnissan.com. Offer on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
If you have sleep apnea and struggle using CPAP, it can leave you feeling tired, irritable.
That's the cutest puppy I've ever seen.
Fatigued.
Can someone please help me lift this tissue?
Forgetful.
Who put this banana in the toaster?
You did?
Oh, yeah.
And even impact your long-term health. Fortunately, now there's Inspire, a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body with just the click of a remote. That's right, a button. Inspire is a small device placed during a same-day outpatient procedure. Simply click the button on the Inspire remote before you fall asleep. As you sleep, Inspire keeps you breathing normally and sleeping peacefully. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News update is presented by New South Window Solutions. Find them online at newsouthwindow.com.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Corey Lazar with Wink News. Is it the end for the Chiquita boat lock in Cape Coral? The city supports paying for its removal, and we'll discuss that today at the Committee of the Whole meeting. Now, the city proposes removing the lock in one of the seawalls. The city is requesting $2 million for that project. Today, a hearing at Fort Myers City Council chambers. Anthony Thomas, a candidate for Ward 2 City Council, is accused of not living at the address he used on his official campaign papers. Those papers were filed when he decided to run for office. The hearing is set for 2:30. With the election less than 2 weeks away, many of you have already voted. In Lee County, 237,419 have cast their ballot. That's between early voting and those of you mailing back your ballots. In Charlotte County, 70,749 of you have already voted. And in Collier, 129,442 ballots have been cast. An investigation is underway in Fort Myers after a body was found in the middle of the roadway. Our crew spotted the body on Palm Beach Boulevard near the Little Caesars. The road was blocked off. Police are on scene investigating. An accused child molester is back in court this morning. James Palmucci faces more than 80 charges for sex crimes against children. Investigators identified Palmucci after 2 of his moles matched those seen in the child pornography. Authorities believe he made that pornography with his victims. Ocala's police chief died in a small plane crash. It happened around 11:30 yesterday morning near Dunellen and the Marion County Airport. The single-engine plane belonged to Chief Greg Graham. He was the only person on board. I'm Corey Lazar. Wink News now.
Wink News traffic.
Flashing lights from a deadly crash investigation on the highway. causing 6 miles of backups right now. So this is at Bonita Beach Road southbound. Avoid I-75 from Corkscrew. That's where the delay begins. Stick to 41 or Three Oaks. Also, Lehigh Acres, a crash at Jaguar and Eisenhower slowing traffic eastbound on Jaguar heading to Columbus. And a crash at Blackstone and State Road 82. Good news here, no major backups, just a tap on those brakes heading west towards Alabama. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
After the quiet start, eventually we will be developing some pop-up scattered storms as we hit this afternoon and this evening. Keep the umbrella handy. High temperature for today, 88 degrees. We're almost near 90 for your Tuesday, Wednesday. A few showers possible, but overall, pretty low chance of rain. Then as we hit late week and this weekend, we do have a chance of rain. That does include Halloween, but hope for the best. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s with some slightly cooler weather as we hit next week. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
92.5 Fox News.
We are going to make America great again.
Right, all along.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South makes windows that are energy efficient and hurricane resistant. You get both. If you have aluminum windows, it's time to get rid of yesterday's technology. New South is the factory and eliminates the middleman. Don't even think of buying windows until you see what our factory can do for you. New South windows are made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers, because we know Florida weather.
Going on now. For every 2 windows you buy, get the third free. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
I taught my children and grandchildren about stranger danger, trying to protect them from strangers who may wish them harm. But now I find myself thinking that is good advice for people my age, especially those in assisted living or nursing home facilities during this election season. We need to protect our rights and our votes, and that means protecting our ballots from strangers. The best way to do that is to vote in person, but if we must use an absentee ballot, we need to be sure no one tampers with it or fills it out for us, and we should mail it in ourselves. If you suspect that someone is trying to stop you or a family member from voting or safely getting their ballot to election officials, you can call the American Constitutional Rights Union Vote Fraud Hotline for help. 877-730-ACRU. That's 877-730-2278. Protect your vote.
Attention Florida plumbers, I need you to do me a favor. I want you to take a look down at your uniform shirt. Is the name Best Home Services embroidered on the front? If not, I have some very bad news. You're working at the wrong company. Join a team where you can create your own opportunities. Join Best Home Services. If you take pride in providing outstanding customer service, Best Home Services is where you want to be. Of course, we offer top wages, top benefits, top perks, but it's the other stuff that makes us different. You and your family deserve more. Join the team at Best Home Services and enjoy living up to the name. Best Home Services, now hiring plumbers.
Joe Biden openly admitted his plan to violate our Second Amendment rights.
To gun owners out there who say, well, a Biden administration means they're going to come for my guns.
Bingo, you're right.
Obama and Biden spent years trying to violate our Second Amendment rights. As president, Biden and his radical running mate Kamala Harris would finish the job. New taxes on gun owners, buyback programs, strict new regulations on firearms that would trample our constitutional rights and make our families less safe. While Antifa terrorizes our cities and radical leftists call to defund the police, Biden would enact unconstitutional gun control measures, making it harder than ever to defend yourself.
Bingo, you're right.
Your family and your constitutional Second Amendment rights won't be safe in Joe Biden's America.
I'm Donald Trump, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Donald J. Trump for President, Inc.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steve.
Hi. I didn't see you standing there. Well, hi there, Southwest Florida. I'm so glad you're watching me on YouTube, streaming live right now. At Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. You subscribe, and that helps to keep us going, so we appreciate that. If you text the word VOTE right now to 239-479-5592, if you haven't done so already, you will get my election picks. A lot of people asked about that, amendments and also judges, some races that maybe you're not familiar with, and also some state and local races, my choices. And so if you would like those, certainly text the word vote now, and they will come right to you, whether you're at your phone or you're at your computer. Would you be at your phone or on your phone? I think it would be on the phone, because it would be really weird if you were at your phone. I guess you'd be at your phone if it was like sitting on your desk. But then, of course, if you're sitting at a desk, you'd probably have a computer in front of you, in which case you would use that instead of the 239-479-5592. All right. Hey, there was a lot going on this weekend. Joe Biden saying some things that you might want to pay attention to, some things that are pertinent to the conversation of whether or not some of your liberties and freedoms may be denied to you. Some of the changes that will be made if Joe Biden becomes president of the United States, as Ben Shapiro put out in a tweet. So what's the first initiative that Biden's going to have if he's elected with a Democrat Senate? Follow this. This is important. What's Biden's first initiative if he's elected with a Democrat Senate? Will it be the Green New Deal? Will it be the public option? Will it be immigration and amnesty? Or will it be re-entering the Iran deal? He put that out there to say, listen, you have to understand this. The presidency is very, very important. But do you see how a base election and Republicans getting out, voting down ballot, how critical that is nationally? You may think that there's a Democrat that's out there that is going to vote for Donald Trump as president of the United States, where there are Democrats who have switched and are looking at Joe Biden and saying, no way, I'm not doing it. I can't. I can't have a guy that says things like, says things like...
you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
I can't do it. I just can't have that guy as my president. I can't do it.
All men and women created by you know the thing.
Can't do it. I just can't.
We choose truth over fact.
I got it. But just because as a Democrat you say I can't do that doesn't mean that the same Democrats who are voting right now across the country, where we are told that in Collier County, there are more Democrats voting in Collier County right now, outperforming everywhere in the state, more Democrats in Collier County, that if you think that those Democrats might be, for example, as I'm looking at the text line, that some of those individuals might say, well, all right, so why couldn't a Democrat vote for Trump? Do you think that the same Democrats who are going out and could possibly be voting for Trump are going to vote for Republicans down ballot? Or do you think there's a chance that they might look at some people, even locally in local races, and say, that person's, that's my guy, that's my gal, moderate positions, that kind of thing. And in Senate races across the country, obviously we don't have that issue here, but in a Senate race, here's the problem, everybody. If Donald Trump is president of the United States and we do not keep the Senate, then you better believe that there are going to be issues when it comes to Democrat House and Senate, from trying to move agendas forward, causing a whole lot of havoc for Donald Trump. And on the other side of that, if for some crazy reason we wake up on November 7th, because Election Day is not really November 3rd anymore, because when you have people that can pull ballots 3 days later, you never know. If we find out that Joe Biden's the president of the United States and the Republicans do not keep the Senate and Democrats keep the House, do you understand what kind of radical policies are going to be pushed in 2 years? Do you have any idea what that's going to be like? You don't. Because not even in the 2 years where Barack Obama had the House and the Senate did they push the kind of radical ideas that they will move forward now without anybody stopping them. So what are some of the things that we may see? Well, let's see. Let's listen to Joe Biden and some of what was happening over the weekend. Here's a beaut. about mask mandates.
As president, I'll mandate mask wearing in all federal buildings and all interstate transportation.
All interstate transportation. You better believe it. We're going to mask up interstate transportation. Truck drivers, interstate travel, masking up. Everybody masking up. Interstate travel. How does that look? How's that going to work? Is that what you want? All right. Here was Joe Biden imagining a world with the kind of mask mandates and the kind of COVID responsibilities that he would take on.
We can beat this virus.
Yeah.
We're not too divided to achieve big things.
Well, you know what? We are really divided. And I would say we're divided enough to achieve big things, because if we weren't that divided, then a lot of the great achievements that we could have had under Donald Trump would have happened. But because Democrats are so divisive, that's not the case.
We're America. Yeah. We can do this. We've never failed when we work together. Imagine a true nationally coordinated plan where we spare no expense. So our schools have the resources they need to reopen with full health and safety protocols in place.
That's not happening. That's not happening now. We do have schools open in a lot of places, and things are fine. As a matter of fact, they're not super spreader situations. And as a matter of fact, there are some places that are realizing that and are now saying we need to go back to school and we need to have full classrooms because of the harm being done to kids, keeping them out of the classrooms. And on the other side of that, the reality of what the virus is and is not. So he's imagining a world that kind of already exists.
Imagine every small business getting a restart package that helps cover the cost of installing plexiglass, providing PPE, and more to minimize the risk of exposure for customers and workers.
We kind of doing it. Isn't that kind of happening? I mean, you look at the state of Florida and some other states. I mean, it's kind of going on right now with restaurants being open and taking the kind of precautions that some people in those communities want, and plexiglass and no plexiglass, and deciding whether or not, as an individual with your own liberties and freedoms, whether or not you choose as an American citizen that you want to enter that building and that business, or you don't. Your choice. Mask mandates. Maybe you don't have to mandate the mask. Maybe if you feel like the mask is something that you want when you enter that building and that makes you feel secure, by all means, go ahead and wear a mask. If somebody else does not want to, maybe they should have that kind of right and freedom. And the reality of what masks do and what they don't do. And I'll get to that in just a second.
Imagine our older Americans and people with disabilities having the peace of mind that comes with trusting that the public health system is working for them.
It's not working for them right now. And I would hope that it's working for them right now. And we might ask ourselves, who are the individuals in the leadership that would put elderly and disabled, as he says, and those maybe in nursing homes in harm's way when it came to the crisis and what we didn't know early on about COVID, and when we didn't know about what was going on with COVID, those were that were brought into nursing homes and were ordered to go back even when they were COVID positive.
Imagine. Instead of staying locked up in their rooms, they're able to hug their grandchildren.
Okay, hold on a second. You're locked up in a room. Didn't Joe Biden have an issue with grandchildren recently? I mean, trying to figure out how many that he has.
You guys have such an enormous following, not only with my children, my grown children, but my 5 grandchildren who range in age from 27 to 14. Or no, that's not true, 16. She'd be very upset. I said 14.
I guess apparently, he has 7? Joe Biden has 7 grandchildren, but he told everybody he has 5, and then he's not sure how old they are. That happens. Anyway, I digress. Here's the point. That Joe Biden, as president of the United States, will absolutely, positively take away many of your rights and your liberties and your freedoms with government edicts and policies that will be detrimental to to your income, to your family's well-being, to your safety and security. That's not hyperbolic. It's a fact. That's a fact. When we have an individual who, by all accounts, may very well be a national security risk as president of the United States due to the fact that we already know what kind of connections he has had with, along with his family, his son Hunter, and those in Ukraine and China and Russia, China specifically. Look, not my words, but Gordon Chang, who was on with Tucker Carlson, I believe, on Friday. Gordon Chang, who's been on this program many times, talked about that very issue and talked about the importance of understanding that when we are looking at Joe Biden being compromised, or what they may or may not have on him.
They probably do one way or another. But, I'm sure they also have other material that has not come to light. And it's that other material that is especially concerning because that's the stuff of blackmail. China goes out to try to find material on people. So even if you're not of great interest to China, so for instance, the Changs, Lydia and Gordon, when we went to China, we were told actually by a figure close to the regime that we could expect our hotel room to be bugged and also to be videoed. And indeed, some nights we could hear the video machine sort of whirling in the background. So they do this to everybody. And of course, they're going to do it to Hunter Biden, especially because he's got some habits which are extremely disturbing.
There's nothing to see here, everybody. Move along. Nothing to see. These are the kind of things that needs to be impactful in your life when you hear all of this, to know that you need to get out and vote. You need to bring people with you. All right, we got a lot of people calling. I want to take these calls right now. Josh in Cape Coral. Hello, Josh.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
I'm awesome.
I was entertained this past week by calls from the Democrat volunteers asking me if I'm going to be voting for Biden.
Are you a Democrat?
I was registered Democrat whenever I was younger. I voted Obama first term, not the second term. First time I voted Republican was for Trump. And I was explaining that to the gentleman on the phone. But via text, they explained to me that, everything against Joe Biden is just, he's done no wrongdoing. This is just a discredited attack that Donald Trump and Rudy Giuliani have been trying to pin on Joe Biden for over a year.
Do you believe that?
So, I don't really believe it based off of what I hear from you guys and what I've been reading. So I'm excited to early vote for Trump again this week.
So are you still a registered Democrat?
Unfortunately, yes, I am. I did not change, but I need to do so I can vote in the local elections for some of the Republican candidates.
Yeah, I guess that's the next question I was going to ask, to my point. Do you ever look at Democrat candidates locally and think to yourself, well, not so bad, I might vote for them?
Not anymore, since I became a family man and a small business owner. I think a lot of my views have changed since I was in my early 20s.
Well, wait, so what you're suggesting here, Josh, is that when you realize you have a family and a wallet and a livelihood and that family and how important it is to you, that there is one party that would like to maybe take some of the availability away from you to do more for your family and keep your family secure. Is that the suggestion?
Especially in regards to family and being a small business owner for the past 8 years.
Yeah, no doubt. All right. Well, Josh.
Thanks for everything you guys do.
Well, back at you, Josh. Back at you. Smoking Joe. They call you Smoking Joe because you smoke, or what is it? Do you like fine quality marbled meats, and that's what you do on the weekends with a why do they call you Smoking Joe?
Man, all the above. Like I said, I've been living here in Southwest Florida since the 70s. I work in the agriculture industry. And, I've never seen a time where it's more important for people to come out and vote. In your congressional district 19, you've got Byron Donalds and you've got Cindy Beignet running against him. Now, Cindy Beignet has not come out against some of the things that's come to light just recently. She's being endorsed by Willie Sparrows, who's a school board fired for alleged pedophilia. got a mayor in Fort Myers. It's an alleged child abuser who's also, along with Willie Sparrows. Some of these things just don't add up. Now, this is very important locally that you have to stand up and see what's going on because, even Amendment 2, $15 an hour, that sounds great if you're poor and uneducated because you get a $15 an hour job, you think you're going to do great, but that's going to double everything you buy. $15 an hour for a high school student will not work. They will not have jobs. You'll have unskilled and ineffective workers. Now, on the presidential election here, I think that it's going to come to light today that Biden is not a factor. There's emails dropping today that Rudy Giuliani has, and if you haven't seen it, it's out there. They're trying to cover it up with Obama's daughter, Melania Obama, and I've seen the pictures. It is Hunter having sexual relationship with this girl and smoking crack, both, and it even got her credit card with her name.
All right. Hold on. Smoking Joe. Maybe that's why they call him Smoking Joe because he just when he comes out of the gates, he's just with his opinions. He smoke. I have no idea. I'm not sure about half of what Smoking Joe just said, but I will say he's passionate. I don't know what we're going to find out when it comes to. Listen again. It's so critical that we remember this. The Hunter Biden story is not about Hunter. Hunter's a troubled individual who, unfortunately, is not being helped by his father. He's being hurt by his father. Remember that. It's not about Hunter Biden. It's about Joe Biden and his connections. We've got to kind of stay away from that issue, that part of it. The salacious, you don't need it. The salacious is unfortunate. That's going on with Hunter Biden. It's really the focus of Joe Biden and what he has done for 47 years, the kind of corruption that's been going on, the kind of laundering of money that many people have talked about, and those concerns, and whether or not they're true. Well, let's find out. Let's have some journalists do some journalism and get down to the heart of it. All right, hold on. Before we go, we'll just have Mark in Naples tell us this one thing. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, just reminds you of the old saying you were talking to, I think it was Josh, the caller, that was now a Republican, that said that everybody's a liberal until they have to provide for themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, until you find out when it comes to your finances and taking care of your family and the security and the safety of your family, all of a sudden, you start to realize there's one party that doesn't really have your back.
And policies to put more money in your pocket.
Yeah, there you go. And where are you at, Mark? What town are you in?
Heading towards Naples right now.
Oh, heading towards Naples. All right. Sounds good. All right. Thanks so much, Mark. We appreciate it. 239-479-5592. Let's take a break. More of your calls when we come back. Top 5 audio clips of the day. The 5 at 8:35 coming up as well. And anytime you would like my election picks, just text the word vote to 239-479-5592, and we'll get you my selections as you have requested. Right there. All right. Sabrina Katz has your traffic.
A deadly crash on I-75 at Mile Marker 116 heading south. This is near Bonita Beach Road. An investigation ongoing is slowing traffic for 6 miles, guys. It looks awful out there. If you are heading southbound, starting south of Alico, really, all the way to Bonita Beach Road, avoid the interstate. 3 Oaks, US 41, both up to speed and will be a lot faster. Also, Lehigh Acres, a crash at Jaguar and Eisenhower is slowing traffic heading eastbound on Jaguar towards Columbus. But Milwaukee is up to speed if you want an alternate. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
88 degrees for your Monday afternoon. Sunshine, quiet weather early, then gradually the clouds increase and we will see a chance for some pop-up scattered storms for this afternoon and evening. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Blah, 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 blah. Gear up for the liberal loudmouths at work. Drew Steele, mornings on 92.5 Fox News.
And now a game of Commercial Chicken, brought to you by Progressive, where we see how long Flo can go without talking about insurance. Ready? Go.
Oh, hi. Okay, guess we should talk about something. Kind of tough to be put on the spot. Not sure what to say. But I know what I'm definitely not talking about. Drivers who switch to Progressive could save big.
Okay, you win. We can't help but save customers money. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
You may not know it, but male performance during intimate moments requires proper blood flow, which only gets worse with age. The result? All men experience some level of performance issues over time, from decreased firmness all the way to chronic ED. At Metro Men's Health, our goal is to provide you with the most effective treatment for performance issues. Years ago, we used to use the same technology as other clinics, but didn't settle for one-size-fits-all treatments or outdated wave technology. Should you? We've developed new patent-pending technology called Linear Piezo Energy Protocol, allowing us to create treatment plans specifically to you. We've helped thousands of men achieve consistent, longer-lasting results, and those results can be yours too. Your condition will only get worse with time. Don't wait. Call Metro Men's Health to schedule your evaluation at 239-599-9900, 239-599-9900, or visit us at metromenshealth.com.
Jeep Adventure Days going on now at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Lowest prices ever on over 1,500 new and certified pre-owned vehicles. All new Jeep Gladiator Overland lease, $399 per month. Grand Cherokee Limited or Ram Bighorn Crew Cab, lease for just $299 per month. That's right. Loaded luxurious Grand Cherokee Limited or award-winning Ram trucks. Your choice. Just $299 per month. Plus at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, you can drive payment-free for 3 months, interest-free for 6 years, and worry-free up to 100,000 miles. And our parts service and body shop are open to serve you. Jeep Adventure Days, featuring Ram Bighorn Crew Cabs and Grand Cherokee Limited for $299 per month at Galliana Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com.
42 monthly, 10,000 miles per year, $32.94 due at signing plus tax title, 0 security deposit, $13.88 per month per thousand bar for 72 months, 0% APR with 0 down with letter approval. Offers don't combine.
What do conservatives like Byron Donalds and Ray Rodriguez have in common? They agree it's time for a change on the Lee County School Board. That's why they endorsed Jacqueline Perez. Byron Donalds and Ray Rodriguez endorsed Jacqueline Perez because they know she'll fight to keep our children safe. Jacqueline Perez is the only candidate in this race that stands with Sheriff Carmine Marcino in support of the Hybrid Guardian program, giving resource officers and highly trained school personnel the authority to carry firearms on school grounds in order to protect their students. Byron Donalds and Ray Rodriguez trust Jacqueline Perez to be a conservative watchdog for the school district's budget of nearly $2 billion. They know she'll stop the liberals' attempts to raise our taxes again and will fight to put an end to the chronic mismanagement of our tax dollars that have cost us millions of dollars. Join Byron Donalds and Ray Rodriguez in supporting Jacqueline Perez for the Lee County School Board. Paid by Jacqueline Perez for Lee County School Board, District 3.
Heroes nowadays can be anyone. And no, they don't have to fly, or have X-ray vision, or superhuman strength. See, in Naples, our heroes wear masks. They practice physical distancing. They wash their hands regularly. NCH Healthcare System and the City of Naples are counting on you to be a hero and wear a mask. Because in Naples, all heroes wear masks.
I'm here with Mike Roberts with Mortgage Warehouse. Mike, give me an update on mortgage rates. How are things looking?
There is a lot of talk about mortgage rates these days, and for good reason. Mortgage rates are nearing the lowest levels we've seen in years. Anyone that purchased their home in 2017 or 2018 should check into refinancing their mortgage to get a lower interest rate. Give us a call at 313-5000 or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com. You'll work directly with one of our loan officers right here in Southwest Florida. Our no closing cost program allows you to refinance with no fees out of pocket, no fees rolled into your loan, and you won't pay any Florida mortgage taxes either. If you took out a mortgage in 2017 or 2018, or you have an interest rate above 4%, or you are paying mortgage insurance, also known as PMI, Call us at 313-5000, that's 313-5000, or apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154, Equal Housing Lender.
This is State Representative Spencer Roach. In just a few days, you'll cast your vote to shape the future of this exceptional nation, which has produced the most powerful, the most prosperous, and the most egalitarian civilization in the history of the world. It took us 244 years to build it, but it can be torn down in only a fraction of that time by the enemies of liberty. But they will not win, because anger is not a campaign platform. Class envy is not a policy position. Burning down businesses is not economic equality, and assassinating police officers is not social justice. This is Spencer Roach, and my platform is simple. I believe in freedom, security, and prosperity, and I'm prepared to defend it at any cost. Because this election is not about Republicans versus Democrats. It's not insiders versus outsiders. This election is about Marxists versus Americans. This is Spencer Roach, and on November 3rd, I hope you'll join me in standing up for America, because freedom is worth fighting for. Paid by Spencer Roach, Republican for Florida House, District 79.
This Wink News Update is presented by Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Corey Lazar with Wink News. Isn't the end for the Chiquita boat lock in Cape Coral? The city supports paying for its removal, and we'll discuss that today at the Committee of the Whole meeting. Now, the city proposes removing the lock and one of the seawalls. The city is requesting $2 million for that project. Today, a hearing at Fort Myers City Council chambers. Anthony Thomas, a candidate for Ward 2 City Council, is accused of not living at the address he used on his official campaign papers. Those papers were filed when he decided to run for office. The hearing is set for 2:30. With the election less than 2 weeks away, many of you have already voted. In Lee County, 237,419 have cast their ballot. That's between early voting and those of you mailing back your ballots. In Charlotte County, 70,749 of you have already voted. And in Collier, 129,442 ballots have been cast. An investigation is underway in Fort Myers after a body was found in the middle of the roadway. Our crew spotted the body on Palm Beach Boulevard near the Little Caesars. The road was blocked off. Police are on scene investigating. An accused child molester is back in court this morning. James Palmucci faces more than 80 charges for sex crimes against children. Investigators identified Palmucci after two of his moles matched those seen in the child pornography. Authorities believe he made that pornography with his victims. Ocala's police chief died in a small plane crash. It happened around 11:30 yesterday morning near Dunellen and the Marion County Airport. The single-engine plane belonged to Chief Greg Graham. He was the only person on board. I'm Corey Lazar. Wink News Now.
Wink News Traffic.
A deadly crash on I-75 at Mile 116 heading south. This is near Bonita Beach Road. An investigation ongoing is slowing traffic for 6 miles, guys. It looks awful out there. If you are heading southbound, starting south of Alico, really, all the way to Bonita Beach Road, avoid the interstate. Three Oaks, US 41, both up to speed and will be a lot faster. Also, Lehigh Acres, a crash at Jaguar and Eisenhower is slowing traffic heading eastbound on Jaguar towards Columbus. But Milwaukee is up to speed if you want an alternate. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
After the quiet start, eventually we will be developing some pop-up scattered storms as we hit this afternoon and this evening. Keep the umbrella handy. High temperature for today, 88 degrees. We're almost near 90 for your Tuesday, Wednesday. A few showers possible, but overall, pretty low chance of rain. Then as we hit late week and this weekend, we do have a chance of rain. That does include Halloween, but hope for the best. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s with some slightly cooler weather as we hit next week. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
More delightful than driving a convertible Bentley while wearing mink underpants. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Steven Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food, stay for the sports.
Hi, it's Big Al from Stevie Tomatoes. They say love and passion makes the world go round. Love for home, family, your country, partner, a friend, and love for food. Stevie wants to be part of your love with our food, drink, sports, and fun. Our passion for your satisfaction brings our love to all of our great customers. Whether it's our brisket short rib burgers, Chicago pizza, fajitas, wings, fish fry, or ribs, it's delivered to your table with love. So at Stevie's, we invite you to share our love of great food, drinks, sports, and fun. You'll never get bored or broke. We feel love loved by the sound of our great customers. We promise to treat you like family at your home away from home. I guarantee it. For daily specials, go to StevieTomato.com. Stevie Tomato's sports page. Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. Come, come, come.
Stevie Tomatoes sports page. Come for the food. Stay for the sports.
When the unexpected comes calling, bounce forward with Comcast Business. Bounce forward fast with internet speeds of up to a gig. Bounce forward with the flexibility to update your bandwidth in just a few clicks. To learn more, go to ComcastBusiness.com.
At 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, our comfort specialists can handle any AC repair. Just call 855-1-HOUR or visit onehourair.com.
Always on time or you don't pay time.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
When everything around us has been interrupted, including playtime, work time, and downtime, friends and family are always there to help pick up the pieces. At Castilla Roofing, we are here for our community, our employees, and you. Keeping a roof over your head is our job, our headache, and our promise to you. Castilla Roofing, family owned and operated. Your satisfaction is our reputation.
Go to CastillaRoofing.us. That's CASTILLA. Or call 239-465-2646. License CCC 1328615.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit MoranWM.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. Hey, a reminder, we started this last week. It worked so well, we wanted to try to continue this this week. So what did we call it, Jake? I forgot what we called it. We're going to do the 5 at 8:35 coming up, but we said that we were going to call it something about the thing. That we're going to do the thing. But what did we call it? We said basically from right after the 5 at 8:35 leading up to the end of the program, every day we're just going to open the phone lines up to you and talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about each day, which we call it like doing the thing. We had a name for it. I was even going to make a song about it, and now we forgot what it's called. Doing the thing, or we're going to do the thing? Let's do the thing. Did we just call it that now?
Maybe it's just the thing now.
All right, we call it doing the thing. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to try this out, especially leading up to the election. This will be fun. So we'll do the 5 at 8:35 coming up in just a second. There's going to be a lot of Biden audio in this. But right after the 5 at 8:35, we open the phone lines, 239-479-5592. You call, talk about whatever you want, state, local, national. I don't care what's on your mind. You can talk about Pop-Tarts if that's on your brain. Why?
Aliens?
What?
Aliens?
Aliens? I don't know if we want to go there, and we'll call it, we're doing a thing. Like what Biden says, it's like a thing. I know, but we had a name. It was a good name. I don't know.
I can't remember.
Remember, I had people text. If you all wanted us to do this, to end the program, text. And we had a phrase to text, and that's where all those...
I would scroll back, but...
Yeah, there's too many. Yeah, okay. All right, we'll have that coming up. Your calls. Top 5 audio clips of the day, 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to MoranWM.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Number 5.
As president, I'll mandate mask wearing in all federal buildings and all interstate transportation.
All interstate. There's a little bit of Joe Biden saying every federal building, mask mandates. Every interstate travel, mask mandates. Interstate travel meaning, what does that mean? Are you saying that, like, if we go out on the interstate, we all have to wear a mask? You know, like when you see people wearing masks in their cars and you're like, you're in a car, you're by yourself. Why are you wearing a mask?
Number 4.
I'll work as hard for those who don't support me as those who do, including those chumps with the microphone out there. Look.
That's a little bit of Joe Biden, who was yelling, yelling profusely. Do you profusely yell? I don't know if that's the right word. Yelling at his supporters while there were some Trump supporters way in the background who were yelling at him while he was doing his, 15-car pileup, otherwise known as the drive-up for Joe Biden's support, and saying, I'm going to support everybody. I'm going to be for all Americans, even those chumps, calling the Trump supporter chumps there. I don't think he's going to be for them. I'm just making that call now.
Number 3.
We've got information that can lead us to believe that China does have compromising material, not only on Hunter Biden, but perhaps Joe Biden himself. So that should lead every American voter to ask a question. Will China have this material to blackmail a President Biden? And I think the answer is yes, especially if you look at that November 2011 meeting in the White House between the China Entrepreneur Club and the vice president himself.
That is Gordon Chang, who's been on this program many times. He was on Tucker Carlson's on Friday and saying, listen, chances are that China has compromising information on Joe Biden and as president of the United States. What's that going to mean to the safety and security of the United States? We should be able to ask that.
Number 2.
This is the most consequential, not because I'm running, but because who I'm running against. This is the most consequential election in a long, long, long time. And the character of the country, in my view, is literally on the ballot. What kind of country we're going to be? 4 more years of Georgia, going to find ourselves in a position where if Trump gets elected, we're going to be in a different world.
Hey, let me ask you a question. If you're Joe Biden and you're doing an interview and you're saying this is the most consequential election in our lifetime, shouldn't you know that George Bush is not who you're running against? You'd think you'd know that, right?
Number 1.
We're in a situation where we have put together, and you guys did it for our administration, the President Obama's administration before this. We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics.
I'm going to leave that just as it is. And
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Boy, there was a lot of Joe Biden blunders over the weekend. And then some. Of course, there's a lot of explaining Joe needs to do, but it doesn't seem like Joe's going to explain any of the issues with Hunter Biden and the emails. And as Jim Jordan said, listen, if it's not true, just explain.
Why won't Joe Biden say they're not real? If they're not accurate, if these aren't accurate emails, why won't the Biden say so? And why? And frankly, why won't the press ask him that fundamental question, that basic question? Mr. Biden, are these actually accurate? Is this Hunter Biden's laptop? And in fact, are you the big guy? They won't ask him that question, but the American people know those facts are true.
Yeah, and that's where we are. We have censorship by social media. We have collusion with the mainstream media for Joe Biden and the things that they will not say about him. That's collusion, everybody. So what about that? All right, 239-479-5592. It's time for you to call right now if you would like to be part of the thingy.
All men and women created by go. You know the thing.
Not that thing, but the thing. So it's phone calls. Whatever's on your mind this morning. 239-479-5592. We will tackle it together as a team. Sorry, going back to my old coaching days. I was never a coach. This is Danny. Danny's in L.A., beautiful L.A. Hello, Danny.
Good morning, Drew. Good
morning,
to talk to you, buddy.
Same here, buddy.
I enjoy listening to you.
I enjoy listening
I
to
already
you.
voted. I already voted yesterday in Lehigh, and I noticed all the signs that were out at the entranceway, and there wasn't the first Trump sign. Had I had any with me, I'd have put some up. But if anybody's out there's got any, maybe they could run over there.
So you're saying that, wait, let me get this right, Danny. In Lehigh, when you went out to vote, and Jake is shaking his head too, there was not one Trump?
Not one Trump sign. I wonder if someone's taking them down.
Huh. All right. I don't know. I guess we've got to look into that. We'll see what's going on. All right.
Yeah, there was probably 100 signs total, and 5 or 6 Biden signs, and not the first Trump.
All right. Well, we'll keep an eye
I wonder
on it.
I'm just curious. I wonder how effective those signs are anyway. Any idea?
You know what?
I guess they get people thinking.
You know what? That is a great question, Danny. I appreciate the call there in Lehigh. Maybe we should do that now, a little informal polling. Maybe if you wanted even to text, if you didn't want to call and say it, do signs influence your vote? People do it for a reason. Clearly, they're doing it because it works. It's name recognition. Sometimes you'll see signs out there and you won't even realize who the sign is, who the person is, but you see the name enough that when you walk in and you vote, you see the ballot, you may not recognize or you may not know a lot about the candidates, but you see a name and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I remember that name, and that's who you vote for. And sometimes you got to be careful because there are a lot of signs out there. You don't know who it is. All right, Ed's in Cape Coral weighing in on the rallies and the president. Go ahead there, Ed. What you thinking?
Hey, how's it going, Drew? Love your show.
Thank you, sir.
Only been listening for the last year, but I listen every day.
Oh, I appreciate you.
Hey,
Thank you.
So in the city of Cape Coral was plastered with Donald Trump signs.
Right.
In the last couple of days, all those signs are gone, and there's Biden signs all over the place.
Is that right?
That is right.
So those Trump signs you think are being taken out and replaced by Biden signs? You think there's something nefarious going on, or you just think that there's, in other words, those Trump signs?
I believe.
Yeah.
Well, I believe they've been pulled out and replaced because there were no Biden signs up until this week.
Interesting.
We were lucky to see a Biden sign in the city of Cape Coral. The other thing I'd like to put out there is the Trump challenge. Have every Trump supporter have a Biden supporter watch one of his rallies.
Oh, like on TV or something, or YouTube or whatever it is?
TV.
Yeah.
TV, YouTube. I mean, if someone sees one of Trump's rallies, it will inspire them.
We hope so. We hope it would be inspirational. And thanks for the call, Ed. I appreciate it in Cape Coral. We hope that it would be inspirational, but knowing how the left thinks, they would say things like, it's those crazy Trump supporters. You know, it's the lunatics out there. They're like, they're blinded. They look at him as some kind of demigod or something like that. I don't even. They'll say something about crazy. Bill's in Cape Coral. Well, you said the same thing, Bill? No Trump signs out there? You're seeing them disappear?
Not only that, first and second caller, I say the same thing. North Fort Myers last week, I had early voted, and not one Trump within 2 miles of that precinct.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right, we got to.
I think we. I honestly think we got a few dirty players. Imagine that on the Democrat side.
I don't believe that for 1 second. How dare you suggest that, Bill? How dare you suggest that the party of JFK would be dirty and they would do something horrible and disgusting? The party of Bill Clinton, how dare you say that it depends what the meaning of is? How dare you say that? All right, Bill. Thank you for the call. Ryan's in Naples. Hey, Ryan.
Hey, Drew, good morning. Regarding the signs and their effectiveness, I think they're just a legacy tactic at this point. I believe they were really effective up until the days of cable. When people, because if you think about it, the average person in America really isn't politically engaged. They don't know the issues, they don't know the policies. Going back before cable, signs are just a popularity contest. You get up in the morning for the election. You're on your way to the poll. Who's got the most times? Oh, he's the most popular. You don't know anything about what's going on.
Let me ask you this, Ryan. Maybe you're making the point. Well, but isn't that the point that people are not engaged? And so when it comes to local races, it's one of the least people are the least engaged when it comes to local races. I would say they probably don't know half the candidates. Not only do they not know who's running in the local races, but they don't even know what they stand for. So to your point, then that's what would work is just having some sign out there with a name that people walk up and while they're voting for Donald Trump and some others that they know of, when they look down ballot, they see a name that they recognize, and that's what they're doing. And that's kind of the legacy.
I can agree with you on the local elections, but for the national stuff,
right.
For the big, like the senator and the president stuff, we get too much information bombarded from us through our phones. Yeah. Even little kids can't avoid it. I work with teenagers, with a handful of teenagers, and they get the information on their phone. They end up asking me because they don't know.
Yeah.
They're not informed at all through their schools or whatever. They end up asking me because I'm a pretty open-minded adult, and I'll just tell them straight what they're getting. But it's unavoidable. Politics is unavoidable, and the issues are unavoidable today because of technology.
Yeah.
And prior to cable, that wasn't so. And so signs were really important. They were an absolute necessity prior to cable, but especially post-internet, except for local. You make a good point about local elections because people just aren't engaged. Period.
That's what I think the heart of it. You know, Ryan, and thanks for the call. I appreciate it. You know what we need? We need more people on the corner like sign spinners. We need some people out there like vote for blah, blah, blah. And those super sign spinners where they got music, and they're spinning the signs and they're doing all these crazy, and they're pointing and you going, hey, and they point at you and they spin the sign. We need more of those.
Do that, Little Caesars.
Yeah, we need more of those. You used to do that?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
All right. Well, maybe you should do that for like one of the local candidates. You could charge I'll bet you can make a pretty buck there.
Like $200 an hour?
Yeah, you spin for some local candidate nobody knows, but you just, hey, what's up? He's at the street corner. Play some music. That's what we need. All right. Bill's in Fort Myers. Hey, Bill.
Drew, good morning. How you doing?
I'm well.
I don't know how to articulate this, but next Tuesday, whomever wins this thing, the whole Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, felonious, treasonous crap is going to go away.
It better not. It better not. And I agree. I agree with you. Yes. There is no doubt that it seems like too many times in politics, that's exactly what happens. Brett Kavanaugh. Where's all the charges against Brett Kavanaugh? Why did all of a sudden all these people that made these horrific accusations, all of a sudden it's like, they're gone? Because they never were real to begin with. To that extent, there are people that would rather not rock the boat and just let things go away, as opposed to following up when it should be followed up. I agree with you, Bill. I could see that happening, but it shouldn't, is what I'm saying.
Well, if I may, because it gets me so upset, I could go on for hours.
We only have 30 seconds.
About it.
So go on for 30 seconds.
30 seconds. To the program manager, dump Sean Hannity, because I don't want him coming to my country, the city. He just does the same thing. He has his guests on, breaking alert, and he always just pumps other people's books. Jake the Millennial should be on from 3 to 5.
All right. That's what are you doing, Bill? What just happened? Did you set that call up?
No comment.
All right, we gotta go. All right, to Adele and Monica and Dave and Alicia, all these calls coming in. We do it from now on, right after the 5 at 8:35, Monday through Friday. We do the thing, and that's your calls, calling about whatever. You could even make statements like dump Sean Hannity and replace him with Jake the Millennial from 3 to 5. How dare you? Awful thing to say. All right, let's find out what's going on with the remainder of the forecast with Wink News meteorologist Matt Devitt.
88 degrees for your Monday afternoon. Sunshine, quiet weather early, then gradually the clouds increase and